a row as he signed for a 1 over par at 73. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm James Mason. We'll begin in football, and several Celtic supporters clubs have put their name to a statement which opposes the potential appointment of Robbie Keane as the new manager because of the Irishman's previous role as Maccabi Tel Aviv head coach. It is suggested that Keane has held talks with the Scottish champions' principal shareholder Dermot Desmond about taking over at the club. The Republic of Ireland's record goalscorer has won league titles in Israel and Hungary as a manager. However, his decision to stay in Israel after the conflict in Gaza drew criticism in his homeland and has turned a section of the Celtic fan base against him. Moving over to athletics now, and world indoor champions Molly Cordery and Georgia Hunter-Bell triumphed in the pole vault and 1500 metres at the Diamond League meeting in Rome. Two-time world indoor champion Cordery sealed the pole vault title with a clearance of 4.80 metres. Track star Hunter-Bell, who took her first world title in Turin in March, broke away from the leading pack to win her event in 3 minutes 58.63 seconds at the Stadio Olimpico. Elsewhere at the meeting, which was packed with British interest, in Keely Hodgkinson, who was another to strike gold at the World Indoors in Poland, finished 7th in a rare outing over 400 metres. The 24-year-old was unable to challenge and finished in 51.14 seconds, while compatriot Amber Anning came home 5th in 50.19. In the women's 200 metres, British athletes Amy Hunt and Dina Asher-Smith took 4th and 5th respectively, with times of 22.52 and 22.76. It was a race won by Olympic champion Julian Alfred from world title holder Melissa Jefferson-Wooden. And finally, now finishing with a couple stories in golf, and Jennifer Kupcho made a strong start to golf's second women's major of the year as she leads the US Women's Open by one shot after the first round on Thursday. The 29-year-old American fired a 5 under 66 at Riviera Country Club in Los Angeles to lead from South Korea's Kim Se-young. Kupcho said that took a little bit of weight off my chest after she missed the cut at this event in the past 3 years. Gabby Lopez is a further shot in arrears on a 3 under par, while the English duo of Charlie Hull and Lottie Woad both struggled as they signed for 2 over par rounds, the same as the American Nelly Korda. And finally in golf, moving over to the PGA Tour, and the first round of the Memorial Tournament has been completed at Muirfield Village Golf Club on Thursday, and there is a 4-way tie for the lead on 5 under par. There is Wyndham Clark, JJ Spawn, Ryan Gerard, the 3 Americans. They're joined at the summit by the Englishman Tommy Fleetwood. Nick Taylor is a further shot in arrears on 4 under par, while Sam Burns and Justin Rose are both on 3 under. Ryan Fox, JT Poston, Shane Lowry, Tony Finau and Patrick Cantlay are all on 2 under par. It was a disappointing opening round, though, for the world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, who was aiming to become the first player since Tiger Woods to win this tournament 3 years in a row, as he signed for a 1 over par at 73. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm James Mason. We'll begin in football, and several Celtic supporters clubs have put their name to a statement which opposes the potential appointment of Robbie Keane as the new manager because of the Irishman's previous role as Maccabi Tel Aviv head coach. It is suggested that Keane has held talks with the Scottish champions' principal shareholder Dermot Desmond about taking over at the club. The Republic of Ireland's record goalscorer has won league titles in Israel and Hungary as a manager. However, his decision to stay in Israel after the conflict in Gaza drew criticism in his homeland and has turned a section of the Celtic fan base against him. Moving over to athletics now, and world indoor champions Molly Cordery and Georgia Hunter-Bell triumphed in the pole vault and 1500 metres at the Diamond League meeting in Rome. Two-time world indoor champion Cordery sealed the pole vault title with a clearance of 4.80 metres. Track star Hunter-Bell, who took her first world title in Turin in March, broke away from the leading pack to win her event in 3 minutes 58.63 seconds at the Stadio Olimpico. Elsewhere at the meeting, which was packed with British interest, in Keely Hodgkinson, who was another to strike gold at the World Indoors in Poland, finished 7th in a rare outing over 400 metres. The 24-year-old was unable to challenge and finished in 51.14 seconds, while compatriot Amber Anning came home 5th in 50.19. In the women's 200 metres, British athletes Amy Hunt and Dina Asher-Smith took 4th and 5th respectively, with times of 22.52 and 22.76. It was a race won by Olympic champion Julian Alfred from world title holder Melissa Jefferson-Wooden. And finally now finishing with a couple stories in golf, and Jennifer Kupcho made a strong start to golf's second women's major of the year as she leads the US Women's Open by one shot after the first round on Thursday. The 29-year-old American fired a 5-under 66 at Riviera Country Club in Los Angeles to lead from South Korea's Kim Se-young. Kupcho said that took a little bit of weight off my chest after she missed the cut at this event in the past 3 years. Gabby Lopez is a further shot in arrears on a 3 under par, while the English duo of Charlie Hull and Lottie Woad both struggled as they signed for 2 over par rounds, the same as the American Nelly Korda. And finally in golf, moving over to the PGA Tour, and the first round of the Memorial Tournament has been completed at Muirfield Village Golf Club on Thursday, and there is a 4-way tie for the lead on 5 under par. There is Wyndham Clark, JJ Spawn, Ryan Gerard, the 3 Americans. They're joined at the summit by the Englishman Tommy Fleetwood. Nick Taylor is a further shot in arrears on 4 under par, while Sam Burns and Justin Rose are both on 3 under. Ryan Fox, JT Poston, Shane Lowry, Tony Finau and Patrick Cantlay are all on 2 under par. It was a disappointing opening round, though, for the world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, who was aiming to become the first player since Tiger Woods to win this tournament 3 years in a row, as he signed for a 1 over par at 73. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm James Mason. We'll begin in football, and several Celtic supporters clubs have put their name to a statement which opposes the potential appointment of Robbie Keane as the new manager because of the Irishman's previous role as Maccabi Tel Aviv head coach. It is suggested that Keane has held talks with the Scottish champions' principal shareholder Dermot Desmond about taking over at the club. The Republic of Ireland's record goalscorer has won league titles in Israel and Hungary as a manager. However, his decision to stay in Israel after the conflict in Gaza drew criticism in his homeland and has turned a section of the Celtic fan base against him. Moving over to athletics now, and world indoor champions Molly Cordery and Georgia Hunter-Bell triumphed in the pole vault and 1500 metres at the Diamond League meeting in Rome. Two-time world indoor champion Cordery sealed the pole vault title with a clearance of 4.80 metres. Track star Hunter Bell, who took a first world title in Turin in March, broke away from the leading pack to win her event in 3 minutes 58.63 seconds at the Stadio Olimpico. Elsewhere at the meeting, which was packed with British interest, in Keely Hodgkinson, who was another to strike gold at the World Indoors in Poland, finished 7th in a rare outing over 400 metres. The 24-year-old was unable to challenge and finished in 51.14 seconds, while compatriot Amber Anning came home 5th in 50.19. In the women's 200 metres, British athletes Amy Hunt and Dina Asher-Smith took 4th and 5th respectively, with times of 22.52 and 22.76. It was a race won by Olympic champion Julienne Alfred from world title holder Melissa Jefferson-Wooden. And finally now finishing with a couple stories in golf, and Jennifer Kupcho made a strong start to golf's second women's major of the year as she leads the US Women's Open by one shot after the first round on Thursday. The 29-year-old American fired a 5-under 66 at Riviera Country Club in Los Angeles to lead from South Korea's Kim Se-young. Kupcho said that took a little bit of weight off my chest after she missed the cut at this event in the past 3 years. Gabby Lopez is a further shot in arrears on a 3 under par, while the English duo of Charlie Hull and Lottie Woad both struggled as they signed for 2 over par rounds, the same as the American Nelly Korda. And finally in golf, moving over to the PGA Tour, and the first round of the Memorial Tournament has been completed at Muirfield Village Golf Club on Thursday, and there is a 4-way tie for the lead on 5 under par. There is Wyndham Clark, JJ Spawn, Ryan Gerard, the 3 Americans. They're joined at the summit by the Englishman Tommy Fleetwood. Nick Taylor is a further shot in arrears on 4 under par, while Sam Burns and Justin Rose are both on 3 under. Ryan Fox, JT Poston, Shane Lowry, Tony Finau and Patrick Cantlay are all on 2 under par. It was a disappointing opening round, though, for the world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, who was aiming to become the first player since Tiger Woods to win this tournament 3 years in a row, as he signed for a 1 over par at 73. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm James Mason. We'll begin in football, and several Celtic supporters clubs have put their name to a statement which opposes the potential appointment of Robbie Keane as the new manager because of the Irishman's previous role as Maccabi Tel Aviv head coach. It is suggested that Keane has held talks with the Scottish champions' principal shareholder Dermot Desmond about taking over at the club. The Republic of Ireland's record goalscorer has won league titles in Israel and Hungary as a manager. However, his decision to stay in Israel after the conflict in Gaza drew criticism in his homeland and has turned a section of the Celtic fan base against him. Moving over to athletics now, and world indoor champions Molly Cordery and Georgia Hunter-Bell triumphed in the pole vault and 1500 metres at the Diamond League meeting in Rome. Two-time world indoor champion Cordery sealed the pole vault title with a clearance of 4.80 metres. Track star Hunter Bell, who took her first world title in Turin in March, broke away from the leading pack to win her event in 3 minutes 58.63 seconds at the Stadio Olimpico. Elsewhere at the meeting, which was packed with British interest, in Keely Hodgkinson, who was another to strike gold at the World Indoors in Poland, finished 7th in a rare outing over 400 metres. The 24-year-old was unable to challenge and finished in 51.14 seconds, while compatriot Amber Anning came home 5th in 50.19. In the women's 200 metres, British athletes Amy Hunt and Dina Asher-Smith took 4th and 5th respectively, with times of 22.52 and 22.76. It was a race won by Olympic champion Julienne Alfred from world title holder Melissa Jefferson-Wooden. And finally, now finishing with a couple stories in golf, and Jennifer Kupcho made a strong start to golf's second women's major of the year as she leads the US Women's Open by one shot after the first round on Thursday. The 29-year-old American fired a 5-under 66 at Riviera Country Club in Los Angeles to lead from South Korea's Kim Se-young. Kupcho said that took a little bit of weight off my chest after she missed the cut at this event in the past 3 years. Gabby Lopez is a further shot in arrears on a 3 under par, while the English duo of Charlie Hull and Lottie Woad both struggled as they signed for 2 over par rounds, the same as the American Nelly Korda. And finally in golf, moving over to the PGA Tour, and the first round of the Memorial Tournament has been completed at Muirfield Village Golf Club on Thursday, and there is a 4-way tie for the lead on 5 under par. There is Wyndham Clark, JJ Spawn, Ryan Gerard, the 3 Americans. They're joined at the summit by the Englishman Tommy Fleetwood. Nick Taylor is a further shot in arrears on 4 under par, while Sam Burns and Justin Rose are both on 3 under. Ryan Fox, JT Poston, Shane Lowry, Tony Finau and Patrick Cantlay are all on 2 under par. It was a disappointing opening round though for the world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, who was aiming to become the first player since Tiger Woods to win this tournament 3 years in a row, as he signed for a 1 over par at 73. That's all for now. We'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm James Mason. We'll begin in football, and several Celtic supporters clubs have put their name to a statement which opposes the potential appointment of Robbie Keane as the new manager because of the Irishman's previous role as Maccabi Tel Aviv head coach. It is suggested that Keane has held talks with the Scottish champions' principal shareholder Dermot Desmond about taking over at the club. The Republic of Ireland's record goalscorer has won league titles in Israel and Hungary as a manager. However, his decision to stay in Israel after the conflict in Gaza drew criticism in his homeland and has turned a section of the Celtic fan base against him. Moving over to athletics now, and world indoor champions Molly Cordery and Georgia Hunter-Bell triumphed in the pole vault and 1500 metres at the Diamond League meeting in Rome. Two-time world indoor champion Cordery sealed the pole vault title with a clearance of 4.80 metres. Track star Hunter Bell, who took her first world title in Turin in March, broke away from the leading pack to win her event in 3 minutes 58.63 seconds at the Stadio Olimpico. Elsewhere at the meeting, which was packed with British interest, in Keely Hodgkinson, who was another to strike gold at the World Indoors in Poland, finished 7th in a rare outing over 400 metres. The 24-year-old was unable to challenge and finished in 51.14 seconds, while compatriot Amber Anning came home 5th in 50.19. In the women's 200 metres, British athletes Amy Hunt and Dina Asher-Smith took 4th and 5th respectively, with times of 22.52 and 22.76. It was a race won by Olympic champion Julienne Alfred from world title holder Melissa Jefferson-Wooden. And finally, now finishing with a couple stories in golf, and Jennifer Kupcho made a strong start to golf's second women's major of the year as she leads the US Women's Open by one shot after the first round on Thursday. The 29-year-old American fired a 5-under 66 at Riviera Country Club in Los Angeles to lead from South Korea's Kim Se-young. Kupcho said that took a little bit of weight off my chest after she missed the cut at this event in the past 3 years. Gabby Lopez is a further shot in arrears on a 3 under par, while the English duo of Charlie Hull and Lottie Woad both struggled as they signed for 2 over par rounds, the same as the American Nelly Korda. And finally in golf, moving over to the PGA Tour, and the first round of the Memorial Tournament has been completed at Muirfield Village Golf Club on Thursday, and there is a 4-way tie for the lead on 5 under par. There is Wyndham Clark, JJ JJ Spawn, Ryan Gerard, the three Americans. They're joined at the summit by the Englishman Tommy Fleetwood. Nick Taylor is a further shot and rears on 4 under par, while Sam Burns and Justin Rose are both on 3 under. Ryan Fox, JT Poston, Shane Lowry, Tony Finau and Patrick Cantlay are all on 2 under par. It was a disappointing opening round though for the world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, who was aiming to become the first player since Tiger Woods to win this tournament 3 years in a row, as he signed for a 1 over par at 73. That's all for now, we'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm James Mason. We'll begin in football, and several Celtic supporters clubs have put their name to a statement which opposes the potential appointment of Robbie Keane as the new manager because of the Irishman's previous role as Maccabi Tel Aviv head coach. It is suggested that Keane has held talks with the Scottish champions' principal shareholder Dermot Desmond about taking over at the club. The Republic of Ireland's record goalscorer has won league titles in Israel and Hungary as a manager. However, his decision to stay in Israel after the conflict in Gaza drew criticism in his homeland and has turned a section of the Celtic fan base against him. Moving over to athletics now, and world indoor champions Molly Cordery and Georgia Hunter-Bell triumphed in the pole vault and 1500 metres at the Diamond League meeting in Rome. Two-time world indoor champion Cordery sealed the pole vault title with a clearance of 4.80 metres. Track star Hunter Bell, who took her first world title in Turin in March, broke away from the leading pack to win her event in 3 minutes 58.63 seconds at the Stadio Olimpico. Elsewhere at the meeting, which was packed with British interest in Keely Hodgkinson, who was another to strike gold at the World Indoors in Poland, finished 7th in a rare outing over 400 metres. The 24-year-old was unable to challenge and finished in 51.14 seconds, while compatriot Amber Anning came home 5th in 50.19. In the women's 200 metres, British athletes Amy Hunt and Dina Asher-Smith took 4th and 5th respectively, with times of 22.52 and 22.76. It was a race won by Olympic champion Julienne Alfred from world title holder Melissa Jefferson-Wooden. And finally, now finishing with a couple stories in golf, and Jennifer Kupcho made a strong start to golf's second women's major of the year as she leads the US Women's Open by 1 shot after the first round on Thursday. The 29-year-old American fired a 5 under 66 at Riviera Country Club in Los Angeles to lead from South Korea's Kim Se-young. Kupcho said that took a little bit of weight off my chest after she missed the cut at this event in the past 3 years. Gabby Lopez is a further shot in arrears on a 3 under par, while the English duo of Charlie Hull and Lottie Woad both struggled as they signed for 2 over par rounds, the same as the American Nelly Korda. And finally in golf, moving over to the PGA Tour, and the first round of the Memorial Tournament has been completed at Muirfield Village Golf Club on Thursday, and there is a 4-way tie for the lead on 5 under par. There is Wyndham Clark, JJ Spawn, Ryan Gerard, the three Americans. They're joined at the summit by the Englishman Tommy Fleetwood. Nick Taylor is a further shot and rears on 4 under par, while Sam Burns and Justin Rose are both on 3 under. Ryan Fox, JT Poston, Shane Lowry, Tony Finau and Patrick Cantlay are all on 2 under par. It was a disappointing opening round though for the world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, who was aiming to become the first player since Tiger Woods to win this tournament 3 years in a row, as he signed for a 1 over par at 73. That's all for now, we'll have more later. Here are your latest sporting headlines. I'm James Mason. We'll begin in football, and several Celtic supporters clubs have put their name to a statement which opposes the potential appointment of Robbie Keane as the new manager because of the Irishman's previous role as Maccabi Tel Aviv head coach. It is suggested that Keane has held talks with the Scottish champions' principal shareholder Dermot Desmond about taking over at the club. The Republic of Ireland's record goalscorer has won league titles in Israel and Hungary as a manager. However, his decision to stay in Israel after the conflict in Gaza drew criticism in his homeland and has turned a section of the Celtic fan base against him. Moving over to athletics now, and world indoor champions Molly Cordery and Georgia Hunter-Bell triumphed in the pole vault and 1500 metres at the Diamond League meeting in Rome. Two-time world indoor champion Cordery sealed the pole vault title with a clearance of 4.80 metres. Track star Hunter Bell, who took her first world title in Turin in March, broke away from the leading pack to win her event in 3 minutes 58.63 seconds at the Stadio Olimpico. Elsewhere at the meeting, which was packed with British interest in Keely Hodgkinson, who was another to strike gold at the World Indoors in Poland, finished 7th in a rare outing over 400 metres. The 24-year-old was unable to challenge and finished in 51.14 seconds, while compatriot Amber Anning came home 5th in 50.19. In the women's 200 metres, British athletes Amy Hunt and Dina Asher-Smith took 4th and 5th respectively, with times of 22.52 and 22.76. It was a race won by Olympic champion Julienne Alfred from world title holder Melissa Jefferson-Wooden. And finally, now finishing with a couple stories in golf, and Jennifer Kupcho made a strong start to golf's second women's major of the year as she leads the US Women's Open by one shot after the first round on Thursday. The 29-year-old American fired a 5-under 66 at Riviera Country Club in Los Angeles to lead from South Korea's Kim Se-young. Kupcho said, "That took a little bit of weight off my chest after she missed the cut at this event in the past 3 years."
World Cup kickoff is at 6:45 and you're bringing it every kick of the ball, kick by kick. Two teams that failed to qualify for the World Cup in 2026 this summer are facing off in Steaua and Bucharest. Romania host Wales, two teams that, yes, have failed to qualify for the World Cup, and in that time having to face off in what they would have liked to be a warm-up before the tournament. But it's a very warm welcome along. We've just got underway in Romania between Romania and Wales, two teams that failed to qualify for the World Cup this summer, facing off against each other. Would have liked to face each other off in a warm-up game essentially before the tournament, but unfortunately two teams that failed to qualify. Romania themselves lost 1-0 to Turkey in the semi-final playoffs, whereas that heartbreak for Wales and Craig Bellamy on penalties to Bosnia means they weren't able to go to America. As just got a foul here, I believe it's Joe Roden with the foul of the Leeds man. Romania, I'll just run you through the teams. They've got four at the back: Hindrich in goal, Surescu, Burka, Ili and Iset. It's Beluta, Dragomir and Nicholas. Stanciu, the captain, Bayram and Allura on the wings, and Muntinu is up top for Romania as they kick from right to left in the first half in all yellow. And Wales themselves, Danny Ward in goal, former Coventry and Hibs man Kai Andrews, Joe Roden, Norrington Davis and Nico Williams at the back. Nathan Broadhead, captain Ethan Ampadu and Josh Sheehan in the midfield. In the wings is Brennan Johnson and Dan James, and up top is Big Kiefer Moore. They're in a whitish green kit, looking, I'd say very quietly, they look a lot Irish on the pitch out there. White top, white socks and green shorts. An interesting route for kit for a Wales side, as Danny Ward just slices it into touch from the near side. Myself, Nathan Wastel, Josh Macon is alongside me. Josh, it's one of them. You don't really know what's to come from these two teams. It's a fairly strong side from both, it has to be said, but two teams that have loved to have been involved with that World Cup, because how many countries we have involved in that tournament. I'm surprised these two teams haven't gone. Yeah, they'll be extremely disappointed, won't they? Especially Wales. I mean, they were at the 2022 World Cup. They gave a good account of themselves in Qatar, and you're thinking, more teams and more chances to get there. You thought they really would have made the most of it, but heartbreak, wasn't it, for both teams in the end? They both got through to the semi-finals. Romania losing out to Turkey, and then Wales losing to Bosnia. Both of those two teams are going to be at the World Cup. They made it through the finals as well, so it's got a bit harsh, playing at the end of a long season. You've then got these two friendlies that don't really mean anything, but hopefully that means the pressure's off. We can see some good football. Obviously the bit of pressure is on for the players. A lot of them will want to impress their retrospective managers, especially like Craig Bellamy, who's wanting to take this Wales side forward. He needs to know who he's going to be relying on going forward. There's a few players in here who are probably not guaranteed to start. There's the few main ones that we always seem to expect in a Wales squad, likes of Ampadu, Moore, James as well, Brennan Johnson. They're always going to be there, but interesting to see some of these other players. I want to mention, Andrews at Coventry. There's Norrington Davis as well at the back from QPR. So interesting to see how they get on and whether they can nail down a spot in the squad. Yeah, some familiar faces. There's another familiar face on this near side, Brennan Johnson with the cross. First corner of the game. It's going to go to Wales on the near side to our right hand side, as we can see it on our screens. Unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary. It'll be 3 minutes into the game. Romania 0, Wales 0. There'll be a corner kick for the Welsh side on the near side. We have Brennan Johnson down on the left, but he does predominantly like to play out on that right, and that's where he looks like he is starting this evening. As it looks like going to be an out-swinging corner for the first one. They're going to send the big boys forward. They aren't the tallest team in the world, obviously minus Kiefer Moore. He's probably the tallest out there. Joe Roden's no slouch in the air either. It'll be a Nico Williams out-swinging right-footed corner. Left arm up in the air from the Forest man. As the ball's going to come in now, he's going to cut through it. He's going to glide it to the back post. Header comes in. Oh, it's over. It's a big chance, It really wasn't caught well. I think it's the Leeds man, the skipper, Ethan Ampadu. I think he just drops his head and takes his eye off the ball and it slices it wide. Yeah, it's almost like he can't believe how much time and space he's given there at the back post there.
Ethan Ampadu. He's had a fantastic week. He's signed a new contract at Leeds, of course, going forward till 2030. He just gets him round the back there. None of the Romania players tracking him. You can tell he doesn't score too many goals, can he, in the Premier League? He sort of gets his header all wrong in the end. Usually if it's Joe Rodon, his Leeds teammate, that's getting on the end of those. You probably rely on him to score a lot more. Ampadu there, just showing why he's maybe not the biggest goal scorer.
But it is a big chance. There's a throw in here for Romania on the near side, on halfway. Nathan Broadhead's pass went astray. I mean, it's a friendly match for these two teams, but it's good practice for us too before we cover a lot of the games in the World Cup with all them pronunciations. Of course, Romania won't be there, but there's some tough names out there, and with some teams that maybe we haven't covered before, and Curacao and Haiti, the likes of such, and there'll be plenty of teams out there that'll be we'll definitely, maybe not struggling with, but we'll have to do our homework on. So it's if anything, this is just a good practice for us too as well.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm dreading looking at some of the substitutes as well, and when the actual tournament starts, it's obviously going to be quite funny to see all those players. A lot of players we don't get to see much of in the domestic league, so that always makes for an interesting watch. A lot of players as well that we've come to expect just to watch in international tournaments. It feels like they go missing for a couple of years, and then you see them pop up at either the Euros or the World Cup. Looks like there's a bit of a problem though at the moment for Brennan Johnson. He's just had a challenge on him in there. Looks like they might have just caught one.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a goal kick as well. Isak, the left back, went in, I won't say stamping, but his foot went down, and there's a touch there on ball and man. It's a fair challenge, and it's favoured the way of Romania. Goal kicks taken deep into the Wales half, and that'll just be swept up and back to Danny Ward, the veteran goalkeeper, shall we say. Of course, it's usually Carl Darlow, another Leeds man, between the sticks for the country, but only makes the bench tonight. There's another goalkeeper on the bench tonight as well for Wales. Just trying to see exactly who it was. I can't remember who. I think it was Tom King, another experienced man between the sticks. But Danny Ward gets the nod. We'll see a lot of substitutions tonight. There'll be definitely more than 5 allowed. So I'm sure come half time we'll see lots and lots of changes. Danny Ward's just going to kick it long, looking for Kiefer Moore. Surely that's a drag on him. Referee sees it that way. Norwegian referee Rohit Sagi, he's a penalised Burka who's got a lot to say to him. He's going to have to say a bit more because the referee's pulled him back over, I think, to have a word. It's that classic. He's held him up really well there, Kiefer Moore, but 2 arms around the midriff and then just yanked him down. It's a definite foul.
Yeah, it's almost a wrestling move, isn't it, there from the Romanian defender. I think he's lucky as well to escape without a booking after that response. It is only a friendly, and obviously the referee doesn't want to produce any cards, but gets right up in the face of him there, doesn't he, and doesn't hold back with what he thinks about that decision. Can't really have any complaints still looking at him. I mean, he just completely has both arms wrapped around Kiefer Moore, drags him to the floor. Obvious foul.
The ball's going to be played inside. They've just had their pocket picked and they couldn't feed him through. There's a good press on there from Wales, but the ball through wasn't good enough. Looking for Kiefer Moore, just went past him. Good press from Wales though. They do look very eager and hungry and energetic out there so far in the 7 minutes we've seen. Good travelling fans as well. It's in Steaua Stadium in Bucharest, and there looks to be a good old amount of attendance there from the home and away sides, especially particularly being a friendly. His ball's just going to be swept forward. Ampadu, he's got a bit of defending to do. He's going to pass the ball out to the far side to Danny Ward, who's going to have to exit out the left hand side with his weaker left, just going to stab it forward. It's not a great kick out. Romania will collect so far. I say it's a friendly. If you threw me into this naked and said it is a friendly, I wouldn't believe it. The way these two teams are playing with the tempo we have, they've been playing it like there's something on the line this afternoon.
Yeah, they are. It's quite surprising as well, isn't it? I mean, considering they've just come off of really long seasons as well. I mean, you think these two friendlies that maybe just coast a little bit, probably all thinking about the holidays afterwards as well. And they're going for it. I mean, they want to put a show on for the fans, as you were mentioning. It's always a great away support that Wales have, isn't it? You can always rely on them to bring the numbers no matter where it is. They always produce a fantastic away, and always wearing the sort of yellow bucket hats as well. So it should be a good occasion. The Wales players will want to put on a show for their supporters. It just looks like there's been a bit of a change in formation for Wales as well from what we initially thought. Maybe we thought it was a 4 at the back, didn't we, to start with, but it seems to be more of a 3 at the back with Ampadu just slotting in between the two centre backs. Did initially think that the position of Andrews as a right back might be a bit of an interesting one. It looks like he's playing out on the left side. Nico Williams over on the right side as both quite high up attacking wing backs. Got front two then of Johnson and Moore, with James and Broadhead in behind them, with Sheehan just anchoring the midfield. So that's what it looks to be like going forward. So Craig Bellamy just trying something different.
Yeah, it's the time to do it. Matches like this, and that's why they're being used. Ball down the line, far side. Wales cut out on that right side, but Sarescu, and then it's going to be played forward. He's going to continue his run as well, coming across, getting the business done. Is Ampadu just seems to be everywhere at the minute, but he looks like he's playing at the heart of that defence, the number 5. We did have him in the holding midfield, but yeah, he's playing at centre half, it does look like. These two teams aren't booked in again to have another match until the Nations League. They're both competing in the Nations League in September. Of course, that long international break this season. I believe it's going to be at least 3 weeks in between the Premier League stroke Championship season. That's a long break. And Romania themselves have Sweden, Poland and Bosnia, and a very tough group for Wales, starting an opening game against Portugal, and also Denmark. And my underdogs, their dark horses for the World Cup, is Norway. There's 3 very tough teams. Ball's going to be moved to the left side here. Isak, the left back, he's just on the left hand side of the box, up against 2. He's going to go backwards this time, keeping hold of it. Dragomir, he's just on the ball in his bleached blonde hair. He's going to dig out a left footed cross. It's taking deflection off a Wales man. It should be dealt with by Norrington Davies. Not convincing at all. Is that a push in the back? Referee hasn't blown his whistle. He let that one go. And Wales back on the ball centrally, but turning into bother. It's good feet though by Broadhead. He's actually wriggled away from 3 players. Done very well there. The Welshman moved it to the far side, underhit his pass, shouldn't have. Intercepted, throwing far side for Wales. 2 teams that may just be falling victim of a bit of sloppiness at the back.
Yeah, they are at the moment there. Norrington Davies just about gets away with it. I mean, I thought the ball might have even gone out of play, or that he'd even committed a foul, but the referee was quite lenient in the end. He wants to let as much go as possible. I think it's really nice feet as well there from Nathan Broadhead. Just in the aftermath, he carries it through a number of players, and then as he gets to the final pass, just gets it all wrong, underhits it. He's done all the hard work. Bit of a disappointment there for Wales not to launch a real attack.
He's going to try one now, but that's good feet in the centre of midfield. Again, great intensity once again. Dan James back there winning the ball. Of course, looks like half the Leeds teams out there at the minute. There's so many Leeds players out there. And it's Kiefer Moore, one of that isn't a Leeds man, just chasing the ball now. It'll be a throw far side for Wales. Burning in line with the edge of Romania's penalty area. There's Burker coming across and doing the business, heading it into touch. Norrington Davies very sweaty, these players. It looks like to be very warm in Romania at the minute, of course, in the height of summer. These 2 teams will definitely see substitutions, but we've seen some tired legs out there. Norrington Davies at the back with the ball, just feeding it forward. Good zip ball to the far side. Great first touch, that is, down the line. Wales got a chance to get forward. Left hand side of the box, back on the stronger right. Ball comes in the box, dug out. It's going to the back post to Brennan Johnson, who gave up on it, but a defensive header will be brought to the near side. Throw in for Wales, but brilliant first touch down the line.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It's Dan James, wasn't it, over on that left hand side, with how much pace he's got and how lightning quick he can be. Just needs that touch round the defender, and then he gets on his bike. Ball in, it's not too bad as well. It's into the box. It's not the closest though to Kiefer Moore. Can't really attack it in that position. Wales have taken that throw in pretty quickly then as well, and they've won themselves a corner.
Another corner. Wales look the more dangerous going forward at the minute between these 2 sides. Haven't really registered a good attempt on goal yet. The man between the sticks, Handrich, hasn't really been tested yet. 12.5 on the clock. Romania 0, Wales 0. As we're waiting now to send the big lads forward. Joe Roden will be one of the obvious targets. Nico Williams to take the outswinging right-footed corner once again. He's going to dig out a front post cross this time. It's curling ever away from goal. It will be cleared. It's going to come out to the near side once again to the corner kick taker. Nico Williams, he fancies himself against him, man, done really well actually against 1. He's got past 2, he has too much of himself, he has, and it's just going to be collected. Just a second though, it looks like Williams was away, but I think he's just asked too much of himself, throwing on the far side for away.
Yeah, well, I think the referee might have given a free kick actually for what Nico Williams does at the end there. It's a really good run initially from the Nottingham Forest man, gets through a number of players and just does too much with it, tries to flick it through a number of players, he then overextends himself, he makes the challenge, it's a clear foul on the Romanian player, and then as they're trying to break out, goes out for a throw-in, so the referee pulls it back for that free kick that was given. But yeah, Nico Williams, important part of this Wales team, isn't he? I think he's pretty underrated and has done a good job this season for Nottingham Forest at full-back. Comes up with some goals as well, so it's going to be a big part of what Wales do going forward.
Yeah, and he's going to do that again as the ball's going to come forward for Wales, this time over to the far side. It does go. Lovely sweep in play. More room for Wales as Romania sitting very deep inside their own area. It's on the edge of the Romania box at the minute. Goes in the box. Ball going to come in now to the back post. Brennan Johnson with the header. blocked at point blank, goes for a shot now, saved at point blank, first attempt on goal, cleared out, throwing on the near side. Brennan Johnson not once but twice. The header you'd probably call unfortunate, and it's Dan James with a left-footed dugout cross to the back post. Not really convincing he was going to hit the back of the net with a man jumping right in front of him, but not convincing clearance and a snap left-footed half-volley shot. Not a bad attempt.
Yeah, Isak just couldn't really deal with him at that point, could he? Johnson, perseveres, he does really well. Eventually just has to take the shot exactly where it is. He can't bring it down in time. Unluckily for him, Hendricks has got that near post covered well. It's a good stop from the Romanian goalkeeper who plays for Legia Warsaw. And right-handed, good ball in from Dan James initially as well. He's looked sharp in these opening stages. Not played too much football this season. Neither has Brennan Johnson though, really, as well for Crystal Palace. So maybe just showing they have got a bit of energy to keep going.
Yeah, it's very impressive to have these energy levels at this point in the season at the start of June. Third corner of the game, and it's the third one for Wales, and it's the third one that's on this near side, on our right hand side of the screen as we see it. Out swinging, Neco Williams, the first two not so great. See if this third one's any better. It's a high and hanging to the back post. That's a good ball, headed back across straight into the hands of the keeper. Kiefer Moore looking to head that back across, whether he was going for goal, whether he was trying to aim for a teammate. He might have just been trying to do both and get it in the vicinity, but like you say, Legia Warsaw's keeper, good hands.
Yeah, it's really clever hands actually. I mean, Sheehan's right in front of him as well. He could easily get a touch on that and put the goalkeeper off, but it's great concentration from him. Just plucks it out of the sky. And they need to sort of wise up though with those corners, Romania. Time and time again, they're sort of leaving themselves exposed around the back. We saw it with Ampadu first. We're now seeing it with Kiefer Moore. They're making that run around the back. The Wales players are not being picked up. Sooner rather than later, Romania might get punished for it.
Yeah, of course, championship player Josh Sheehan, of course, promoted in the playoff final in the championship a couple of weeks ago at Wembley with Bolton Wanderers. There's an offside there against a Romania man, so it'll be a free kick for Roden to take. He'll go back to Danny Ward, and he'll just keep hold of it on the edge of the D, on the edge of his own box. Currently, he goes left, sweeps it across the edge of his own box to Ampadu. Just first time passes it to the far side. Wales have it back. It's going to go back into their own area now. Down the line they go. That's neat football. There's been some good football there from Wales, and if they would score first, you wouldn't say they haven't earned it. Ball down the line, misplaced, and that'll be a throw-in to Romania on the far side. Kai Andrews trying to stab it through. Bit of a curse to the commentator there. As Romania back in possession at the back with Illy, and he just moves it to Isak on the near side, trying to take on his man. Poor touch, will be a throw-in on the near side for Wales, right on halfway, and just a lack of concentration, and I think that's just starting to sum up Romania's on the ball possession. Yeah,
they look really poor, don't they, at the moment, Romania? I mean, it's obviously a friendly, they're not going full throttle for it, but we've basically not seen anything from them going in attack. Don't think we mentioned the striker's name, Montino, at all, really. He's that as well, I think, struggled at left back so far, and we see it there, he just dribbles it out of play under no real pressure. Romania are not happy again now because the free kick's been given against them, too strong in the tackle. Once again, the referee calling Wales' favour.
One name we talked about for Nikolai Stanciu, we talked about before the match. Such a danger man. We haven't talked about him once. As the ball's going to be played in towards Kiefer Moore, it's just behind him, and the Romania defender will clear the ball all the way into the Wales half, and back it goes to Danny Ward. 17.5 on the clock, 0-0. But you'd like to say it's probably mostly Wales at this point, knocking on the door. Haven't broken it down just yet as Ampadu goes over halfway, left side of centre, over on the far side as we can see it, zips it down the line, and then another ball down the line, looking for Kiefer Moore, trying to get on it. He's not the fastest, but another corner stabbed away on the far side. Probably did the best he could in that vicinity. The ball through to him was slightly overhit, and he's not exactly the quickest, but nonetheless they have the fourth corner of the game, and it's the 4-4 Wales, and it's over on the far side for the first time. It may be a Williams in-swinger this time rather than an out-swinger, which I don't think it's really favoured the Forest fullback. See if, he's going to go out there, number 3, and take this corner. I think it does suit him more to go for the in-swinger, so see what he's got about him. Last time they aimed high into the back post to Kiefer Moore. We'll see exactly what he has in his locker this time. All eyes on that man, of course, as he takes a couple of strides back to the ball. Neco Williams, 2 arms up in the air, normally indicates where this is normally going. And that normally means to the back post. It is, and it's looking for Kiefer Moore again. It's a header that's going backwards. I think it came off a Romania man. Brennan Johnson trying to keep this in a really poor touch. It was actually Kai Andrews with the poor touch once again. There'll be a throw-in on the near side for Romania, but Wales, they keep up the pressure.
Yeah, they do. They've definitely been the better side, haven't they, so far? They've controlled possession and easily looked the most likely. I think I've already mentioned that James looks live really on or on that left-hand side. And this time the Romanian defence actually does quite well with the set piece. They're never in any danger at this point. I mean, Moore is lurking, isn't he, at the far post, as he's always going to try and do. We've got two men doubling up on him. He managed to get the clearance away, and not really a big chance that time for Wales.
No, he was up against two. I think they've knacked onto exactly what Wales are going for. The ball's going to be clipped to the far side by Baluta, and down the line it goes. Flick around the corner. Flag stays down initially for now. With Romania coming forward, long ball to the near side, bags of space on this near side for Byram. Lovely touch as well. He's inside the box, right-footed ball to the back post. He's behind his men. He had a man on his overlap as well. Maybe he didn't see or hear him, but they have it back. Oh, that's a naughty pullback as well, right-hand side edge of the box. It's a really naughty pullback by Norrington Davis. He may just evade a yellow card, and that may just be because it is a friendly. But I mean, he knew exactly what he was doing. Yeah,
I think he's lucky if he doesn't get booked for that challenge. I mean, there's no attempt to play the ball whatsoever. Romania have got a really good chance there if the lad can get through like that. Alaru gets the better of Norrington Davis. Nice flick round him and just easily pulls him back by the shoulder. He then puts his arm up to say, I didn't do anything wrong, but I mean, it's quite an obvious one, isn't it, there from the QPR defender. And it's a good set-piece chance this for Romania. We've not seen them on them so far. It's close to the box as well. Two-man wall for Wales in the form of James and Broadhead. Let's see what they can do with it.
It'll be frustrating for Craig Bellamy and co with all the pressure they've had to give such a cheap free kick away and then to concede from it. We're just trying to see who's going. Dragomir is one of them on the left foot. May just be going for goal. It might be Stanchu. It is going to be Dragomir who's going to zip it in. It's a deflection. Did it come off a Romanian man? No, it's going to be a corner kick, I do believe. The referee changed his mind. Zipping that to the front post. Cross comes shot. I think he may just be... Is he one of them? He's just trying to drive it towards goal. Any touch, it may just land in the back of the net?
I think it is. I think he's just trying to hit it as hard as he can, can't he, and hope that it sort of cannons off someone. It does actually do that in the end. I think it's Ethan Ampadu, isn't it, at the near post who it comes off of last. He's got a man in his way in the form of Burkett. Can't do much about it there, the Wales skipper. But yeah, the home side have got their first corner of the match.
Alaru's on it. He may just lay this backwards to Sancho. He has, and he's going to whip it with the right foot. It's a teasing ball into the back post. Shot comes in. Great save, Danny Ward. Pretty much just hit him, but he moved down towards it. A lovely full volley as well. It was a nice ball in. It was Baluta, the holding midfielder. We'll get another look at it. It was a nice ball in, laid and then whipped backwards. Kept his eye on it. He had a bit of space as well. And it's the statement of the obvious, but anywhere but there, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, it's a fantastic ball, then, isn't it? That you're thinking when they do the short corner like that, as we've seen in the Premier League so many times, teams will just try and drive it up towards the edge of the box. They put it straight in, though. It's a lovely whipped cross from Stanchu, who you mentioned is probably one of the standout players in this Romania team. They were lucky not to score there. Baluta does well with it. Second corner comes in, though.
It's going to be to the front post, headed out again. It may just be 3 corners in a row now for Romania. It is a succession of Kiefer Moore back there. A lot of these players look very tired already. The conditions worsening, but that's the difference. I think the difference in the balls in has been, I don't want to say night and day, but it's been brilliant from Stanchu again. It's Kiefer Moore again at the front post. We're getting another corner for Romania. That was just a deja vu, and the exact same. He put it right down the keeper's throat, but Moore standing right in front of him to protect his keeper and his net. See if he goes for a different sort of ball in, all on this near side for the last 3 for Romania. See what Stanchu's all about. He may go for the back post this time. There is a man showing for the short corner, the number 8, Allura. I'm just going to see exactly what he goes for here. He may just go short for Ella, he has. And he'll lay it backwards to Sancho. He wants to put the ball in, he is, and it's another good ball to the back post. Header comes back across, big chance cleared away from the 6-yard box. Shot comes in by Dragomir. It's going to be dragged wide by him in the end, and it will be a goal kick for Wales. We've just ticked over halfway through the first half. But Romania causing trouble with the Stanchu balls. I mean, absolutely brilliant. But Josh, pass it over to you, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nathan. It's by far the best spell in the game so far, isn't it? That for Romania. I think they've equalled Wales's corner tally now as well. I think there was 4 successive corners they got there, and every single one of them looked pretty dangerous as well. We mentioned about Kiefer Moore maybe struggling with the heat. I think he's also struggling with a bit of an injury. As he defended the first corner that came in towards the near post, he sort of collided with the post as he made contact with the ball. He was just moving around awkwardly afterwards. We'll have to see how that one develops throughout the course of this game. He's still on the pitch for the meantime and didn't need any treatment, so hopefully it's just one that he's going to be able to walk off. But yeah, possession still firmly in Wales' favour, 62% of the ball to 38 for Romania. However, the home side have just started to ask some questions in attack. They've had that great chance with Baluta on the set piece. Ball came in towards the back post. He did well to connect with it, but unfortunately for him, Danny Ward had just the right positioning at the right time. As Nathan mentioned earlier, he's in place of Carl Darlow. You would imagine is the starting goalkeeper at this point for Wales. He's had a really good second half of the season for Leeds in the Premier League. Nailed down that number 1 spot at Ellen Road. And look to continue that into the next season. Look to keep on as Wales' number 1 as well. He's not the only other Leeds player on the bench as well. There is 18-year-old Jaden Lienu on there as well, who, if he does come on, will become the first, he'll become the youngest ever defender to be capped by Wales. 18 years and 60 days. Just doing that despite not even playing a senior game of football yet so far for Leeds. He was named on the substitutes bench at the end of the season a couple of times, but never actually got onto the pitch. Quite the achievement for him if he can get onto this one though and make his international debut before his club debut. I don't think there's many players who can say they've done the same. Wales just still have the ball at the back with Williams, who's eager to impress but hasn't been able to do too much so far. Coming down the left now is Norrington Davis. Nice touch round the corner from Dan James. Whether it's dealt with by Burker, he'll go all the way back now towards Hildrick, the goalkeeper. Of course, made a few early decent saves for Romania. Hasn't been called into action too many times then, and there's a chance now maybe for Romania. The flag's going to go up on that far side. It's put into the net absolutely brilliantly. It's Montienu who fires it into the top corner. Well, he wheels away in celebration. I'm certain the flag went up initially from the linesman. The scoreboard is saying 1-0. I think he's only just realised, though, the striker, that the flag had gone up. I mean, I kind of hope this counts because that is an incredible finish.
That's Haaland-esque, that the way he's put his foot through it, over the ball, on the bounce, half volley, laces through it, rifles it top bins. Any kid that's watching, that's how you score a goal. Let's have a look. Flicked. Oh, it's tight, I tell you. It's tight. Josh, between you and me, I don't know if we got VAR tonight, so I'm sure there will, but for me, on first glance, on the freeze frame, of course, it's not bang in line. He looks onside. What an unbelievable edge of the box, right hand side of the day into the top left corner. That is an unbelievable strike. For his sake and football's sake, I hope it's counted.
Yeah, I do as well. It looked onside. We're playing on though now, and the goal isn't going to stand, so I can only assume that VAR is not in operation for this game. But Wales have made another mistake. Montano might get another chance. He curls it in. Danny Ward with a big save. It's the palm away there to the left, and well, Wales are causing their own problems. Montano has just started to burst into life in this game. We'd hardly mentioned his name in the first 23 minutes or so. He's just had a goal ruled out for offside, and then he's almost found the top corner again there. Good save in the end though. Yeah, it was. Yeah, reached up well. Danny Ward above him. Not more as much convincing there from Montino, but yeah, a bit of a tough one to take. I think there's just a bit of heavy legs out there. I think Wales are struggling with the heat. They're looking tired. They're making silly mistakes, and we're only a quarter of the way through this game, so I think it will eventually open up big chances. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Wales' players aren't the only ones struggling with the heat as well. It's just panned to a fan in the away end who's got one of the worst sunburns I've seen in some time, all around the neck. As the corner comes in, again it might be problems. Rodent heads it away this time. Dragomir will try another volley on the edge of the area. That might have come off his own man in the end. It has. It's going to go out for a throw, and it's in line with Wales' own 18-yard box, but they are starting to struggle more in this game. Just looking at the weather, and it's currently 23 degrees in Romania, and this is quite late at night, of course, as well. They're a couple hours in front of UK time, so you can only imagine what it's been like in the day as well. It's been a tough one so far for Wales, who are starting to feel the heat, but they're on the attack now, moving down the left side. It's Norrington Davis carrying it forward. He's found James in space just up ahead of him. Here is Dan James now, up against his fullback, tries to cut inside as well. Stanchew's in the way of him, out now towards Williams, tries to poke it through. It's a good interception. Now Romania might be able to break through Alaru. Again though, Wales just able to get the tackle in. Now towards Ethan Ampadu, just slows the game down for a moment, perhaps understandably so. Wales will want to take the sting out of this one and stop Romania's momentum in its tracks. Ampadu now on the halfway line. It's got Montienu starting to press him a little bit more frequently. He's definitely woken up in this game and has sensed that there is a few chances for him in this one. Ward now out on the edge of his own box, still goalless after 28 minutes in the Romanian capital. That's a decent ball forward, which more heads on. However, he's not going to be able to find James on this occasion. Surescu heads it back into the hands of Hindrick. Ball out towards Lee. Now back towards Hindrick again. Just a few passes between the Romanian defenders for the time being. It's now with Isat on the left hand side. He's challenged there by Brennan Johnson. He might have left one in on his man there as well. Johnson has stayed down on the deck, and Wales are going to get a free kick out of this one. It's a really poor touch from Isak, and I don't think he can actually complain about it. As he studs up again, it's the same challenge we saw earlier on in the game on the same player, Brennan Johnson. He just gets there too late. He puts one onto the foot of Johnson, and he's now stayed down.
I think he's gone with the lenient approach, the Norwegian referee. I think if this was, let's say, a qualifying game, we'd have seen at least 2 yellow cards by now. We've seen a couple of reckless fouls in there, that's for sure. That's a nasty one right at the top of the foot, nowhere near the ball as well. So again, yeah, he evades a yellow card, and I can only presume he's gone with the lenient approach because it is a friendly.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be getting his cards out all the time, but I imagine another one of them from Isak, and he's probably going to be shown a yellow card. Can't go too over the line with it. Nico Williams is now ready to take this free kick. It's a decent set-piece chance again for Wales. Williams with the ball into the box. Roden gets up for the head. He's miles away from the goal in the end, though he can only sort of head it up into the air and hope for the best. It might have been Ampadu, actually, his Leeds teammate, who got the final touch. We've already seen him on the end of one of those set-pieces for Wales. However, this time comfortably over the bar.
It is, yeah. It was very comfortably over the bar. And the high intensity we saw at the start of this game it has swindled out slightly. And I think Wales are really the orchestrators of that. Is that to kill the Romanian momentum? Is that just to get a bit of control of the game? I'm not quite sure, but either way they're trying to slow it down. Maybe it is because of some tired legs. I'm just saying, on the site we have for our lineups, they've changed the Wales lineup about 5 times. I don't think they can make twos of exactly where everyone's playing. I think they may have just got it right now, but they've changed it about 5 times. So maybe Bellamy's changed it 5 times. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, it looks more like a 4 at the back again now as Andrew goes forward. He tries to find the run of Broadhead, who just arrived into the box. Romania are going to try and play their way out of trouble and should be able to do so eventually. Ball forward again, looking for the run of Montieno. He's managed to win that off of Joe Roden as well. Mistake there from the defender. He recovers really nice. There's a bit of a battle going on as well now as Williams loses out and Romania can advance forward. Montieno steps inside. That's surely a free kick there for Romania. Ethan Ampadu goes in on the Romanian attacker again, looking to see if the referee is going to brandish a yellow card. He's not going to do it. He's going to point to an early one, so that might be the last warning for the Wales captain. Can't have any complaints.
No, next one, isn't it? He's saying that one and that one, next one's it. He's let him off far too many times. Yeah, he knew exactly what he was doing. Like say, if this is a qualifying match, if this was the World Cup, Ethan Ampadu would be seeing yellow right now. But he's got away with it. But stern words by the Norwegian referee. He's getting tempted into a yellow card, but he's just at the icebreaker, isn't he? The next one, I think, will be a card.
Yeah, definitely looks to be that way. Could it come now from this set piece as well? Romania have a free kick. It's going to be Dragomir. We've seen how good they are actually at set pieces. Some great balls have gone into the box so far. Can Dragomir follow that up with another one now? Up goes the arm from Romania's number 22. Left foot ball towards the edge of the box. It's almost won there as well. I think it's one of the defenders who's made the run forward. He's appealing about something. He's not going to get it. In the end, it's the number 17, Isak, who've gone forward, got the final touch as well, and out for a goal kick. He thinks the decision should have gone his way, but not to be.
No, not to be. It was one of them. Dragomir's bowling wasn't exactly the best. Probably better off leaving Stanciu on it. He seems to be causing all sorts of problems with dead balls, but Dragomir that time with not a great ball in. And yeah, this game's gone a little bit more flat. Probably come to. I've just seen highs today of 29 degrees in Bucharest. That's hot. That is very hot. As well, not known for the tropical, is it, Romania, is it? It's not really built for sun in that aspect. It's like similar to England, whereas when it's hot, it will be very hot, and what you can see out there, it looks very, very humid as well. So these teams, particularly Wales, look like they are struggling.
Yeah, they're being put through it, aren't they, at the moment? These Wales players, after a long season, there's a lot of a few championship players in there as well, League One players who've had a long seasons. Of course, Josh Sheehan, as we mentioned, a playoff campaign as well. He's barely had any time to celebrate that before being called up for international duty. Nico Williams of Nottingham Forest has obviously had a long run in Europe, so they've had long seasons, played a lot of minutes, these footballers, and this is the sort of thing that they probably wouldn't have appreciated too much, but they can't do anything about it. They'd have been just doing it even longer if they were at the World Cup, of course. And Wales have, well, they thought they'd lost the ball there. It's Broadhead who'd been brought down. Alaru has done it illegally according to the referee, so he's going to give a free kick for it. Nathan Broadhead in the end, who's picked up quite a bit of sun, wins a free kick.
Is that a sunburn? He's very red, isn't he? I don't know whether it's the RTV's emphasising that, or I don't know if he was red because he was warm, or he's onside. We're just getting another angle of so there's no VAR tonight, I'm going to presume, but we're just getting a replay of the goal that was disallowed, and I mean, some goal it is. It's yeah, he's onside. That second angle we saw, wasn't it? I think you'd be in agreement that it was the wrong decision.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's really obvious, isn't it, when they show the angle in like that. It's the wrong decision in the end from the linesman. Really unfortunate for Montienu. I mean, we can only describe what we're seeing, but I don't think words do it justice how good of a shot that was into the top corner. He just found his way past Joe Roden, an experienced Premier League centre-back, fired it into the top corner. No chance for Danny Ward, but Wales are going to come forward now because Broadhead is stolen it off of Isat. He's done well actually with his challenge in the end. He was behind on the former Ipswich man. However, he's done that challenge fairly according to the referee in Romania. Can now try and come forward. It's put forward in the end by Beluta. Only towards the feet of Ethan Ampadu. Roden now finds Williams. Touch behind him is a good one towards Dan James. Norrington Davis now back towards Roden. Wales look like they've played through this one nicely. Sheehan takes one in the back there. Advantage going to be played as Ampadu wants to bring it out from defence. We're into almost the final 10 minutes of the first half. Still goalless between Romania and Wales, and not a great moment there for Brennan Johnson. He's trying to let the ball run past him as it's played forward down the wing. However, he just lets it clip off the back of his foot and out for a throw-in.
Some tired mistakes coming in, isn't there? It looked like a good ball down the line, but curled back towards Johnson. He just started running forward, just looked forward. He needs to keep his eye on the ball. It was a good initial starting run, and then he took his eye off the ball and hit him on the back. Yeah, it's a poor mistake by him, and you just get the sense this game's starting to open up because of the tiredness. Yeah,
definitely is. There's a lot of space for them both to work with. I mean, I'd be amazed if there isn't basically a full new 11 of substitutes at half-time with how humid it looks out there. It'd be too much to ask these players to do that in a friendly match. As Romania have the ball at the back again. It's a nice crossfield pass out towards the right hand side, which Norrington Davis deals with. James tries to flick it behind him, but he has his pocket picked by Stanchu. Now back towards Surescu. That's a good challenge there from James, though. He has left one in on his man. It's going to be just a throw-in over on that far side. Maybe just a bit of a sore one for Surescu. And James doing his defensive duty. So maybe just clip the back of the Romanian player's foot there. I think that might have been a foul there, but it's not been given. Romania instead have to settle for the throw-in. Still no cards as well in this match. Actually in a decent home form at the minute are Romania. They've won 7 of their last 9 at home, including their last 3 games. So they're certainly confident when playing in Bucharest. There's the volley as well on the edge of the area. It's a decent hit in the end from Beluta. Danny Ward though sees it all the way. Doesn't even get down to his left in the end. Plenty of power behind it from the Romanian midfielder. However, comfortably wide.
Yeah, comfortably wide indeed. Didn't really catch it. Of course, we're talking about a Romanian side that won 3 of the last 4 against Wales, so their recent record isn't too bad, to be honest. I was worried for them at the start of this match, and Wales have had more of the ball. We've seen that, but they've definitely grown back into this game, the home side in yellow. 64% possession for Wales, 6 attempts, 2 on target, 9 attempts now for Romania, 4 on target. I mean, I can't remember all of them Romania attempts on goal, but they've exceeded that and really amped up the pressure. I mean, we're 8 to go till the break. Is there going to be a break in the deadlock? I'm not quite sure of that, but I can sense a goal in this game for definite, but it may just be coming in the second half.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. Wales' last 7 goals have all been scored in the second half of matches, so it shows they are definitely a second half team, and maybe Craig Bellamy is looking to change that. He wants his side to start scoring earlier on in matches, and maybe it just makes it easy for them as well. They can start to control it, and rather than just chasing it and going for full intensity, which might just be wiping them out in the latter stages of matches. But here is Norrington Davis finding James over on that touchline. He's wide as he wants to go. He gets on his afterburners as well. Might keep this in by the byline. He does so as well. He finds more inside the box. He tries to sort of use his hold-up play in the end. The last touch comes off the Romanian defender, so he has won a corner for Wales. And Dan James, every time he gets on that left-hand side, he does look a handful.
Yeah, he does. He's a barrel of energy. I mean, they're a similar sort of player, Brennan Johnson and Dan James, but I think Dan James technically brings a bit more. He has a bit more of an intelligence in terms of a football brain about him on that left-hand side. He's worked it nicely, and a good ball into Kiefer Moore. He just needs to be a bit more on his toes. You're right. Is he carrying an injury? Is he tired? Is it both? He just seems one step off the pace as Kiefer Moore at the minute, and he looks like he is struggling with something. But there is a corner.
Yeah, he's not been able to shrug off that earlier one that he picked up at the set piece when he collided with the post. He's really been involved since then as well. 5 corner now for Wales, matching the 5 of Romania, and it is going to be Williams over on that far side to deliver the in-swinger towards the near post. There's plenty of whip on it as well. That's the final touch. Come off of Josh Sheehan. It hasn't. It's come off of Bayram instead, and out for another corner for Wales. So they nudge forward ahead again in terms of corners in this game. Williams again will take this same set piece. No one showing short for it as we enter the final 6 minutes of the first half. Goalless between Romania and Wales. Is that about to change up as Nico Williams prepares to take this corner kick for his side? A few players inside the 6-yard box for Wales, including Ampadu, as Williams swings it in towards the back post this time. Moore goes up for it, but an easy header away for Baluta. Williams has got Andrews has got a bit of work to do there. He's pushed in the back, and surely Wales number 10 is going to win a free kick for that when he carries it backwards, and he's sort of worried for him there that he's going to lose possession, but in the end it's Isaac who just goes through the back of him, clear foul, and I'm surprised he's not picked up a yellow yet.
Yeah, I think he'll be quite relieved there, the Hibs man Kai Andrews, because he was in a spot of bother, but the nudge sort of gets him out of the danger, and a push in the back's got a free kick, because ball was coming out the sky on the bounce, and he was looking at his goalkeeper. He was in the Romania half. It had been a long pass. He was looking back at his teammates, so he's probably fortunate, but it looks like they're just going to go absolute route one here. It's near the halfway line, 5 from the break. It looks like Nico Williams just going to absolutely launch this in the box.
Yeah, they're always looking to be direct with these set pieces. This one's the same. It goes into the area. Roden with the header up in the air, and that's just about hit the side netting. It was tough to see from the angle. I thought for a moment it had found the far corner there, almost like a ghost goal. It's actually Kiefer Moore, isn't it, who gets up, it hits the stanchion behind the goal in the end. Indrik is at full stretch and not keeping that one out, and just thought for a moment that was going to loop into the top corner.
It doesn't help that stanchion's not very far behind the back of the net as well, so it did look like it just hit the back of the net. It was very nonchalant, so all the players didn't really react. Sort of a bit of a giveaway that didn't hit the back of the net, but it wasn't a bad attempt. It was a bit of a tough one for him, wasn't he? He was on the stretch with the head a bit above him. He's a tall guy, but if he can't reach it, I don't think anyone really could. It wasn't a bad attempt. Yeah, a real tough one to take. I think Nico Williams, he has got a good set piece in him, but I think you can just see, without the disrespect to the Welshman, just see the levels between Williams and Stanchu. If you had that level of Stanchu, that is just the difference between the two. He just causes a bit more of an issue. Whereas Williams has put a lot of dead ball set pieces into the box, and can't say it's amounted to that much danger so far.
Yeah, there's a lot more whip on it, isn't there, from Stanchu in the set pieces that we've seen from him. There's the ball forward from Ward on the floor. This time it's risky from Nathan Broad, and he's dispossessed. It's Montanu over towards Laru now on the edge of the area. He's going to be given a free kick for that one as well. It's a clear shove in the back. Not a great few moments for Nathan Broad, and he loses out on possession. Romania go forward, and Laru in the end tripped right on the edge of the D, and this is another dangerous free kick.
Really silly. What's he doing? Barricading into him, forearm in the back on the edge of the D centrally. There's no need, is there? There's absolutely no need. Laru was bearing down. He's probably going to shoot, but I don't think they're in that much danger, in as mad as that sounds, but pushing the bat nonetheless. And again, surprised he hasn't got a yellow card. 3 from the break. Stanchu's over this, and won't be surprised if this does hit the back of the net.
Yeah, neither as well. I think he's really dangerous in these sort of dead ball positions so far for Romania. 3 minutes left to go until the half-time break. Is the deadlock about to be broken in Bucharest? It's going to be Stanchu, and Dragomir is also standing over it, but I think Dragomir has probably got a bit part role in this one. Stanchu, the man who looks the more likely. 4-man wall for Wales. It's going to go in from Stanchu. It's over the wall as well, and once again it comes off that stanchion. Ward was rooted to the spot. I don't think he was getting there in the end. The Wrexham goalkeeper. Fantastic effort from the Romania captain, and he's really unlucky not to see that burying into the far corner.
Stanchu off the stanchion. That's not a million miles. It's always curling away though. That's the issue you've got. So you've got to bring it back on itself. You're almost aiming centrally on the goal to then try whip it back across. And from our angle, I will admit it looked a little bit closer than I think it originally was. It was a foot or so wide, but it was still very close. I was just interested to see if he was going to go for that far corner because it was that close, but he was able to keep it down. It was just getting that angle towards goal. It was just a bit past the post. It wasn't about getting it under the bar. It wasn't a bad attempt at all. 2 from the break. Looks like we're heading in level.
Yep, looks to be that way unless something changes in the latter stages of this half. Here is Danny Ward again, the Wrexham goalkeeper. You want to mention about there's quite a few Leeds players in this Wales team. There's also 3 Wrexham players in the starting 11. More than half of the team is made up of Wrexham and Leeds this evening for Wales. Of course, Ward is joined by Broadhead and Kiefer Moore as well. A big role to play. So rescue comes forward for Romania. Maybe one big chance as Ampadu slides in. He takes away from Montanu Road and then goes down, and the linesman who's right next to it flags for the free kick there. I think it's clever play from Joe Rodney. He gets in front of the defender quite cleverly, and Montanu in the end just sort of with that striker's challenge brings him down.
Yeah, really smart by the number 6. Ran, got the acceleration, was more hungry for the ball, and then as he's got his body between man and ball, he only needs a touch on his back and he's hitting the deck, and he's done exactly that, and he's won his team a free kick. Very, very savvy from the Leeds man, it has to be said, and just relieved a bit of pressure. I think with friendlies they had on that much added time. I mean, if it was a competitive match, you'd be adding on 3 or 4 minutes. I think we've been fairly stop-start with the free kicks, but I wouldn't be surprised if he just adds on a minute, maybe even nothing.
Yeah, I think that would be the right thing to do, especially with the heat as well. There's no need to make these players play more than they actually need to. I was quite surprised that they've not had any sort of drinks break as well halfway through the half. I mean, we've seen them being had for in much more favourable conditions than these ones. Players have had to play right through it. There's been no injuries as well, so it's been sort of full on for the whole first half.
I presume we will get them at the World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. Surely. They had them in the Club World Cup, didn't they, last year? And I think it's an absolute necessity with the blistering heat obviously in America, Mexico and Canada at this time of year. Already seen the England players being put through their places. They're of course in action at 9 p.m, taking on New Zealand in Tampa Bay of Florida. With 2 warm-up games before the real tournament. They of course played Costa Rica as well on Wednesday evening as Wales look to mount an attack. There is just going to be the single minute added on at the end of this first half. Romania have it inside their own box now with Hindrick, the goalkeeper. He's going to go long though. Launches it out with his left foot. Decent looking ball as well. It's up in the air for Roden to win the second one. He finds Andrews as well. Brings it down now for Broadhead. This is a good attack so far for Wales, isn't it? Johnson tries to go forward. He puts a pass into the centre looking for Kiefer Moore. It sells it short though. And Montenegro then has gone down under a challenge there. So Romania have got themselves a free kick right on halfway. 25 seconds left to go of the first half. They're going to have to get it forward quickly if they want a real attack out of this one. It's a clear push in the back there from Nico Williams. Again, not resulting in a yellow card. Referee choosing to still be lenient with those decisions. And they've actually gone all the way back now with this free kick as well towards the goalkeeper who launched it long with his left foot. Headed up in the air by Norrington Davis. Headed on then by Dan James. However, that should be it for the first half. It is as well. The Romanian referee brings things to a close for the first half. Not too many big chances so far. Romania going into the game nicely after a positive start from Wales. And at the break it's Romania 0, Wales 0.
Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Martino to be put through, edge of the box half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Martino to be put through, edge of the box half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Martino to be put through, edge of the box half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Martino to be put through, edge of the box half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Coutinho to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Martino to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Martino to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Martino to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Martino to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Martino to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Martino to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0. Half-time in Bucharest between Romania and Wales. It was a Wales frantic start, and they were very positive for the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but Romania grew back into the game. The only real big talking point from that first half was 26 minutes into the game. A flick on for Martino to be put through, edge of the box, half volley, absolutely thundered it into the top left hand corner of the net, deemed offside, so it remains 0-0. But then looking at the replays, no VAR and it was on, but it remains 0-0.
That's very well, welcome back. We just got back underway on our screens from Bucharest. Romania versus Wales remains 0-0. We've had some substitutions. Looks like Burke has come off. Looks like Hindrich and Goal has come off as well. Looks like 4 substitutions for Romania as well. Russ has come on for Burke, the number 4. In goal, Tarnavanu has come on, the number 1 in goal for Hindrich. Easy for me to say. Boz has come on for Isat, and Coman's come on for Byram as well. Ball into the box, straight into the hands of Stefan Tarvanavu in goal. He collects it fairly comfortably, but no substitutions for Wales at half-time. That does surprise me. We are still 0-0. The ball has hit the back of the net, but it was ruled out for quote-unquote offside. No VAR, and he was on, but it didn't stand a brilliant goal by Montino, but it has ruled out. Nick Mostel and Josh Makin taking you through this one. Josh, we said in the first half that we wouldn't be surprised if a goal did go in, but we'd probably expect it in the second half. We may just get it now with Romania in the box, pulled backwards, big chance here in the box, but they've dallied over it. But they've kept it alive. Is that offside? Play still resumes. It's all messy, and that will be cleared. But yeah, we said we wouldn't be surprised if it came in the second half with tired legs in sorts. Yeah, we definitely expected it. I mean, a few of those Wales players were sort of running on empty, weren't they, towards the end of that first half. Really humid conditions in Bucharest, and that's really surprising from Craig Bellamy to not make a single substitute when his players look sort of down on their feet. They're making mistakes that you wouldn't usually expect them to make.
he's left them all out for this second half. Surely we'll make a few changes as it goes on. Romania have gone first with us, perhaps not even needing to do so as much as Wales. So that is interesting, and it might lead to a few more chances. We've already seen Dan James have that one on target right at the start of the second half. Decent effort towards the near post on Romania going up the other end. So again, seeing chances at the start of this half like we saw in the first. Just hopefully it can continue like that one and we get some goals in the second half.
Yeah, that's what the only thing that's really missing in this game so far. But of course, two teams that have just missed out on the World Cup face off against each other. Romania missing out from a semi-final heartache 1-0 defeat to Turkey, who did eventually end up going, and then getting right at the death. Wales knocked out on penalties to Bosnia themselves, obviously going through. Heartbreak for Wales, but a throw-in on the near side for them. Strata just put it out against Dan James. May have been offside. We'll have to get another viewing of it. 47.5 I should say on the clock. Romania 0, Wales 0. Wales have drawn their last 3 games 1-1, and they've conceded first in 2 out of the 3 of them. So, like Josh absolutely rightly said in the first half, they're more of a second half team are Wales. Dan James was offside. A free kick taken for Romania up to this edge of the Wales box. There's a pull there as well, about 25 yards from goal centrally now. A pull down on Martinu, the only man out there that's hit the back of the net. It's remained 0-0, but it'll be a free kick very centrally for Romania. It's Stanciu as well that will be over it. He's a free kick specialist as well, so they don't want to be giving him too many chances, it has to be said. There is other friendlies going on, I will say. Portugal and Chile, and 0-0. Rafael Leao has been sent off straight red, and so is Roman right at the same minute, unsportsmanlike. So it looks like some sort of fight's gone on. The hosts, USA, are trailing against Germany in 14 minutes. Kai Havertz, of course, the Champions League final goal scorer, with one of the goals. Stanciu's going to take the free kick centrally, tipped over the bar by Danny Ward. It's going to be a Romania corner. But just setting off the second half as they started the first, it was a good attempt in the end, but it just a bit too central. Yeah,
it's actually Florian Coleman, isn't it? Who has the shot on the edge there. I thought it would be of Stanciu, but of course, I think he's gone off at the... In fact, no, he's not. He's still on the pitch, actually, Stanciu. There were that many changes made at once. It's hard to keep up with, but a really good effort from Coleman. It's down the barrel in the end of Danny Ward, but it's towards the upper side, and there's a bit of swerve on it as well, so it's by no means an easy save there for the goalkeeper. Has to tip it over the bar and behind for Romania's 6th corner of the match.
There's a ball in from the far side. It's going to go short this time, and then whipped in now with the left foot, header out by Ronan to the edge. Hard full volleys come in. It's shanked, and it's gone well wide, and it will be a goal, a kick. It was the number 2, Strata, the substitute, coming on. Of course, we know of Coman, the number 7. He's a fantastic wide player, very tricky, but he plays his football in Qatar. Isat's gone off, by the way. I don't know if that was just recently or it was during the melee of the half-time ones, but he's gone off as well, and Borza has come on in his place at the back. That looks fairly like for like at the back, it looks like. Borza, the number 20, has come on. So that's 5 substitutions now for Romania, none for Wales. They're going to be coming over to the far side. Moving it down the left flank, the number 20 in Borza, who has come on. He's moved it to the right hand side of the centre circle, moved to the near side, looking better now. Russ, the substitute, over to Strata, the number 2. Looks like he's taking up that right back role. And back on the ball is Russ. He's just going to play it backwards this time. They're just centrally in their own half. Glides to the far side. Neat football from the team in yellow. From left to right they come in the second half. Going to go backwards to go forwards. Now all the way back they go. To Tarvan Naru, just in goal, just moves it to the near side to Ross, and they start from the back and they come again. That press has just lingered off slightly for Wales. Good ball. It's a great ball over to the far side. A spread from near side to far side. Into the box they go, left hand side. On the overlap, it's going to be ball in from the bar line. Going to go across goal. Coleman, it's 1-0. It's that man we talked about, the man that plays his football in Qatar. It's the number 7, and they have been knocking on the door. A pullback from the byline, very, very calmly. A touch to trap it, an instep of the right foot into the bottom right-hand corner. Ward, no chance, brilliant goal. 1-0 Romania.
Yeah, well, that's a lovely finish, and I mean, this just caps off a fantastic goal from Romania. I mean, they've been threatening this sort of move throughout the game, and this is a wonderful team move. There's so many players who have a part to play in this goal. It starts with Roos, doesn't it? The centre-back who's just come on. He just brings it out from defence. He pings a fantastic ball over towards that far side, and they just keep going with it. Wales can't get close enough to him. I thought with how many changes they made at the break, there would be a sort of energy mismatch at the start of the second half. That's how it's worked out. Borza, the man who drives up towards the edge of the box. There's the overlapping run as well there from Alaru, and then Coleman with one of the coolest finishes you'll see all season long, just to slot it into that bottom right corner. No one in a Welsh shirt gets near him in the end. He's allowed to put that through two Premier League players in the end, in Joe Rodon and Ethan Ampadu, and makes it look really easy. Fantastic finish for a player who plays in Qatar as well, and what a goal that is to put Romania ahead.
Yeah, it is. First goal in 2 years for his country. His last one was in the Nations League. A very, very calm finish, trapped with the right foot and then side foot pass into the bottom right corner. Very, very nice indeed. And what we've seen so far for large stints of that first half to the end of the first half into the second is Romania deservedly take the lead. I mean, they had one shot off that should have stood, and now you'd probably call that a restoration, but a karma that they were the good karma they rode, and they're 1-0 up. And Josh, I think you're absolutely right. I think the substitutions, the energy levels is the difference, and that's exactly what we've seen at the start of the second. And Romania now lead. Wales need to pick themselves up, and it was one of the substitutes that's hit the back of the net. It's given them the lead. We're just waiting for confirmation on our screens that it has happened. And we're just that's a nudge in the back there from a Romanian man in midfield, but nothing doing so far. Referee doesn't seem interested in it. Ball moved down. It looks like we're trying to see one of the players that had come off, the number 22, but I don't think he actually came off in the end. I was trying to see exactly whom it was. I thought Dragomir went off, but he actually is still on the field. The number 22. To do that many substitutes in a friendly, it's trying to keep up with all of it, just seemingly impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, you can never truly do it, can you? I was worried they were going to substitute the whole 11 like we sometimes see in friendlies. We'll just confirm the 5 that were made at the start of the second half, just so that we are sure for it. Hindrick was the goalkeeper who went off in place, of course, of Tanavanu. Roos replaced Burka, Borza at left back instead of Aysat. Strata on at Surescu. And then there's obviously Coleman on in place of Bayram, and what an impact he's made.
Brilliant impact, it has to be said. Ball looking through for Kai Andrews, but there's too much on that one. It shouldn't really been overhit the way it was. There is a couple more games that we're covering on our service at 9 o'clock. One myself and Josh are on. We've got Scotland versus Bolivia. Of course, Bolivia not at the World Cup, but Scotland are, so warm up for the Scottish team. And then the big one as well, England against New Zealand in Tampa, Florida, as England get prepared for the World Cup. We're just seeing team news will be filtered through to us eventually. But yes, England themselves getting warmed up as well before they face Costa Rica next week. Looks like he's gone fairly strong, it has to be said. But he's taken players as Thomas Tuchel that he won't be featuring at the World Cup as well, which is a bit of an interesting move. But there we are. As Wales look to come forward. That's a poor pass out that didn't need to be done as well. Struggling with the energy levels now. Ampadu's coming across with the energy. That's a nudge in the back. Surely it is. Will be a free kick for Wales. And it's getting a bit worried for Wales now. It's just sort of getting out of their reach.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Romania have really started to dominate the match ever since that first goal. And yeah, they've always looked capable of doing so. And Wales, it feels like they need some changes just to try and spice some things up. They haven't had any sort of attack in the second half ever since Dan James hit that one towards the near post right at the start in the first minute or so. Yeah, that's just gone stale for them. Of course, they're wanting just to maybe just try and come through it, but you have to think there's some good options on that bench. Lewis Koumas, of course, scored against Ghana in his first cap for Wales, and he'll be eager to get on the pitch. Yeah,
he's a great player and a good goal scorer as well. Of course, Sorba Thomas, a big danger man, the Stoke player. He's a brilliant player. He's probably, I'd arguably say, Wales' best player yet to feature. 10 minutes in the second half. Ball down the right-hand side by the substitute. Number 2, Strata. He's going to try and put a ball into the box, blocked by the first man. But it will be a throw-in near side for the Romanian fullback. Moved backwards they go, all the way back into the safety net of their own half. They're going to go all the way back to the keeper. Tanavanu is right-hand side of the D. Just going to sweep the ball to the far side. Chance to come forward, but they're just sticking on the ball. No sign of movement on the Wales bench just yet. I don't think Bellamy
He's not vast with options, but there's options on there nonetheless. Of course, Ben Davies as well, just left Spurs in the summer. A centre half with vast amount of experience could come on. He could even do a job in midfield if he had to. Romania back on the ball, but it's troubling for Wales because they've really struggled to get on the ball at all in the second half.
Yeah, they have. They just look comfortably second best, don't they, at the moment? Romania have adapted well to the conditions. Of course, all the subs have helped with that. I'm just thinking for Wales at the moment, where's that spark sort of coming from? We saw it in the first half with Dan James looking pretty lively down the left side, but he's barely got the ball and they can't sort of set him through. I think Striker's done well since he's come on. He sort of kept James on lock over on that near side. I think Terescu was sort of getting done in behind a few times, but since Striker's come on, that's sort of changed and James has been less effective. Craig Bellamy, deep in thought, of course, will be hoping to himself. I don't think he's guaranteed the job forever at Wales. Of course, disappointing not to get to the World Cup, so he needs to show the fans and the board as well, Welsh affair, that the team is going places and that it's worth sticking with.
Absolutely. We'll just confirm the England squad for you. Jordan Pickford in goal. Back four of Konza Stones, captain Mark Gahey and Jed Spence. Kobbie Mainoo and Jordan Henderson hold the midfield. Rashford, Morgan Rogers and Ollie Watkins in behind Harry Kane. I don't know if that is the case. Ollie Watkins out on the right wing, but maybe a change in formation we'll see. Maybe a 4-4-2, but we're not used to seeing two up top for England. Maybe trusted 4-4-2, who knows?
Mike Bassett got in charge.
Yeah, football may well be back. We've got a free kick for Romania. Ball in the box from Stanciu. Oh, they're asking for a pull. They're not going to get it. Bit of scrambling around. Is that going to be a free kick or a corner? He's given a corner kick to Romania, scrambling around. It's last-ditch stuff for Wales. They're throwing bodies around there. It's very ugly. They're not clearing their lines. In the end, there was a bit of a pull on a Romanian man. They did ask for it. That was quickly waved away. But a Romania corner nonetheless.
Yeah, again, they're going for that interesting set piece routine. It's a bit of a drag there, and he gets up quite quickly, doesn't he, Montagu? And then the Wales player goes down. In the end, they're wanting a free kick. It'd be a cheap one anyway. I don't think there's enough contact to make that free kick. And yeah, another corner now for Romania.
More defending to do. Looks like Stanciu will be. They're going to lay it from a shot to Stanciu. First time crosses in. It's something we have seen for a lot of the corners for Romania. They've done it again to the back post. Not a bad ball at all. Headed back cross. They're asking for handball. It was point blank. It did hit a hand, but right in front of him, there was nothing he could really do. Ball spread to the near side. He's had another good spreaded ball. It is. Stanciu just couldn't collect it. It was a hard one to take. But Romania back on it. They couldn't clear the lines. 14 attempts for Romania, 8 for Wales. There's now 6 corners apiece between the two sides. Romania back in control, and this is very, very quickly getting away from Wales just before the hour mark. Romania 1, Wales 0. Coman with the goal not long after half time, giving the home side the lead. Is that a free kick? It is. There's a nudge. Are we going to see our first yellow card of the evening? No, we're not. Laru, who assisted that first goal, he's got a vicious nudge in the back. I've just seen a replay again of that handball shout. The arm is up. Would you call that an unnatural position from Norrington Davis? He did have his arms above his head, but did it hit just like the tricep underneath? And of course, like you say, it's right in front of him, so hard one to get out of the way of.
Yeah, I think it's in an unnatural position, though. You could say that. I mean, the way that he just sort of charges with two arms up in the air is quite peculiar. Wales are going to make some changes now. Finally, looks to be a triple change. Broadhead, Kiefer Moore, and Norrington Davies, I believe, are the players that are going to be going off. I think Brooks is coming on, Kumas is coming on. It also looks like Connor Roberts as well.
Connor Roberts coming on, the former Burnley man. Kumas, you rightly said, a man that can make a difference. Brooks coming on as well. So it looks like Kiefer Moore making way. He did look tired. He looked tired very early in this game. And we'll get maybe a change of formation as well. Roberts coming on and Norrington Davis, one of the defenders, being hacked off. Romania coming forward though on the far side. Dragomir have to drag it backwards into the centre circle of the Wales half, staying on the ball though. I think it was the right time to be bringing players on. And Lewis Kumas comes on, of course, like you say, scored that goal in his first appearance for his national side. Must have impressed Craig Bellamy. It looks like Dan James being taken down there. Is that a free kick for Wales? Kai Andrews, he's had a bit of a hit and miss game, the former commentary man. I'm surprised he wasn't one of the players to make way. There's Romania on the far side now. High press is on from Connor Roberts on that right hand side. And backwards they go, all the way back to the keeper, the Romanian number 1. He's stood on the ball, left-hand side of the 6-yard box, going to cut through the ball to the near side, look for another long spread. It's not a bad one either, but well collected in the end by Nico Williams, who's just trying to play it off a Romanian man and has thrown on the near side. Not the first time we've seen a long field ball from one side of the pitch to the other, and I tell you what, they've been very, very crucial and very good at them. Yeah,
they've been really impressive. They're sort of can mix it up, can't they, Romania? They've got the great passing moves like we saw with the first goal, but they can also go direct, and when a team's got that sort of versatility, I find they can be really dangerous and hard to deal with, as Wales have found out so far. There's going to be 3 more changes coming on by the looks of things for Romania. I think Popescu and also the number 9, Dragus, 2 of the players that were getting ready to come on. Players back on the way though, so those changes haven't been made yet, but we'll confirm once they are.
The ball down the line, good take as well from Dan James. He's on that unfavoured left though, so he's checking backwards. And he goes back to Andrews, going to go forwards. Williams has a chance to cross this with the right, hasn't done so. Back out to Dan James, the number 20, going to run it his fullback. He's just strafing at the minute to the left, back on his right, ball into the box, to the back post, headed clear. And Wales trying to keep that live. Is that a push? Referee says no, good decision, there wasn't much in it. Williams coming forward, moves it to the far side, good play by the Forest man. And they're going to cross it into the box, hesitant. Back to Williams, centrally 25 yards out, cuts it to the near side. James takes it like Velcro. And down that left side again, he's going to put it on the left foot. Good ball with the left foot, bad post, big chance, 1-1. It's brilliant play. And a ball to the far side that was taken very, very well. Probably his first touch by David Brooks with the left foot at the back post, the number 7, on the full volley, instep, calm as you like, into the bottom left corner. You'd probably say against the run of play, but there you go, substitutes once again in this game making a difference.
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, I think you are right, that's the first touch, isn't it, for David Brooks, and what a touch it is as well. You're just thinking, Wales are a little bit too hesitant to play this forward. It's their first real attack in some time. James keeps himself onside. It's a great ball out to him from the centre of the field, and once again he's direct, he's Dan James, he wants to take on his fullback, he puts a great cross over towards that far side, and once again the Romanian defenders just aren't tracking the runners round the back. They had an issue with it in the first half at the set pieces. This time comes from open play, and David Brooks, he slots that into the far corner, absolutely brilliant from the Bournemouth winger. He's not going to miss from there with his left foot, always in a dangerous position, and Wales back on level terms.
I'll tell you what, Dan James hesitant on that left foot to begin with, but I don't know why, because it was a lovely ball in. It really was. Illy's gone off. We are getting confirmed to us. He's one of the substitutions. But a lovely side foot finish from Brooks. It's another one of them that was similar to the Coleman one, that you don't need to hammer it. You can just side foot it, let the ball use the pace from the cross, and it fires into the net. So Illy's gone off and Popescu's come on, which Josh called rightfully minutes ago. That's one of the substitutions. I'm just trying to see if the others have come on and will get confirmed to us. But back on the ball is Nate Kumas. He's going to put a ball across and just going to be cleared out. Alaru is going to be going off the number 8. And Sierjan is going to come on, the youngster that he used to spot an Arsenal top at one point in his career. Ampadu's just taken a Romanian man down. Muntinu's gone off, and Dragus, the number 9, has come on in his place. So 3 more substitutions for Romania. But I think just a stark in energy, and the tails are up now for Wales. And Kumas was winning the ball back there left hand side. Beluta has come off as well, the number 6, and Kubis has come on, the number 24 as well, pretty much like for like. But yeah, Wales looking a lot better since the goal.
Yeah, they have, just giving them that bit of energy that they needed. I think the substitutes have been positive as well. Of course, one of them has scored, so that makes it quite obvious that the changes have worked to some degree. I think Roberts as well, Kumas has added a bit of a different sort of dynamism up front. And yeah, they just look a bit more revitalised. It's sort of maybe a second wind in the match as well. They've obviously come through that really tough spell, maybe acclimatising a little bit better now. And yeah, a bit more confidence going forward. I mean, Romania as well have made 9 changes, I believe it is. It's just it's just Stanciu, isn't it, and Dragomir that are still on the pitch from the original starting 11. So that's going to be a fun job, of course, for us trying to keep up with things. But Wales almost have got the same team that they started with.
Yeah, not many in terms of subs, but the ones that have come on have made a real difference. It has to be said, Connor Roberts being one of them, throws it in on that far side, halfway inside the Romania half, goes back into the safety net of their own half. Back to go forwards. We're getting word that Ollie Watkins is playing in behind Harry Kane, and it's Morgan Rogers on the right hand side of the midfield. We don't think that's what will be starting the World Cup, but that's
what we're getting this evening, as we can see, the only real talking point in the New Zealand side is the man up top wearing the armband, Chris Wood. That's the only really one I recognise there, the Forest man. Not much to write home about in terms of the rest of them.
No, definitely not, and it's going to be a tough tournament, isn't it, for them? I think they just lost 4-0 to Haiti as well in the previous friendly, so you'd think England could lay down a bit of a marker there. Interesting to see us not playing a number 10 or anything like that. Kwanzaa, of course, getting the nod at right back as well, but of course we'll see how that plays out for Tuchel. Of course they want to change it up for Costa Rica as well. Jed Spencer over on the left side as Dan James has just almost won a corner, but ultimately last touch comes off the Leeds winger.
Yeah, he's a cut through him. He's asking for a free kick. Did he get one? I think he found himself unfortunate if he didn't. There was a slide that came in, but no, it's given us a goal kick. Very unfortunate. An interesting one there, I'm just saying Mark Gahey as captain. Of course, did lead Crystal Palace to a lot of success in his time. But I'm getting word that he is captain, but it may just be a mistake. It should be Harry Kane. I think it has changed now. I think that must have been a mistake, because that would have been very surprising, the fact that Harry Kane's out there. As Romania back on the ball, Dragomir is just going to go backwards and keeping hold of the ball. So we remain level now as we started this game. Romania 1, Wales 1. Romania led this game, but Wales got back into it. Tale of substitutions. They may get better here. There's a ball on the near side. There's a spare man. It's come to the near side. Dan James across unselfishly. It's going to go out for a corner. A lovely stretch and defensive block in there. It was a goal save once. Kumas nearly had 2 and 2 there, but the number 3, Popescu. These substitutions are making a difference, good and the bad. Yeah,
they really are, and you're just thinking Wales have timed it perfectly. It's brilliant, isn't it? From Brooks again, who just waits at the right time to play through Dan James. Maybe takes him a bit wider than he wants to be, but he puts it across the box nicely. Popescu, one of his first sort of interventions in this game, stops Kumas from having a tap in. It's a brilliant piece of defending, good piece of attacking as well. All round good stuff.
Yeah, brilliant. David Brooks, out swinging left-footed corner now. It's a different corner kick taker. See if we get a different outcome. 2 arms up in the air, near side, out swinging left-footed corner by the goal scorer. He's going to whip it, and he's going to glide it to the back post, header back across from Roden. When I say back across, it was more looping towards the byline, and keeper grabs it in 2 hands. I believe it's Josh Sheehan, of all people, on there. He's had a quiet game with the Bolton Wanderers man. Up there, winning the header. Ball's going to be kicked long, and Roden's going to head into touch, but there we go, ticking over halfway through the second half. It's level. Josh, pass over to you to take us home.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nathan. And there's still time, of course, for Romania to make another change in this one. They're 10th in total. Stanchu is now going to be going off the field of play. He's going to be replaced by the number 18, David Matai. Good performance from Stanchu. You mentioned right at the start of the game he was probably one to watch out for, and it certainly ended up like that as well. Fantastic on the set pieces. Looks really dangerous the whole time on them. And he's now finally get the rest that he deserves. So now the only player on the pitch that didn't start in this game, or that did start in this game for Romania, is Dragomir, the number 22, still on the field. We'll see if he manages to last the whole time as well, as Romania have got themselves a throw-in just in front of the halfway line. It's not back towards Popescu, now plays it across towards Roos. He's been pretty good as well since coming on field for Romania. Wales are pressing higher though now than they did earlier in the match, and it's forced a mistake there on Roos. Ball high up in the air. Dragomir will now bring it down though. He plays it nicely towards the striker there in the form of Dragus. He now loses out though towards Sheehan. It's down for Robert over on that right side. One of the few Wales substitutes compared to how many Romania have made. We're into the final 20 minutes of this one. It still remains 1 apiece. Both sides look to be going for it though. Here's Andrews now for Wales, of course, sporting the number 10 shirt this evening. Given a big honour and given that. Brooks, lovely turn away from his man. Was he caught there by Popescu as well? He was. Romania thought they'd won the ball back freely. They haven't. David Brooks just showing sort of Premier League quality more and more as this game goes on. Fantastic impact from the Bournemouth man. Scored. He's now showing his class. Wales are now going to respond to a change of their own. Looks like Brennan Johnson's race is going to be run now in this game. Congreve is coming on, so a big moment for him. Brennan Johnson not really been involved too much though in this game. We'd like to think that he's probably the star man of this Wales team, or at least one of them. He's not done too much so far. Andrews is now going to be withdrawn. That's in place of Chris Mepham. Dan James as well coming off the field of play. He deserves a rest. I think he's been really good, and Thomas on in place of him.
Yeah, it's 3 substitutions for Wales. I think they're correct decisions. A bit more fresh legs. Something I thought we'd see much earlier than this. Sorba Thomas, of course. I keep reiterating how good he is.
see what he can do, the number 19, absolutely brilliant. But yeah, 3 more changes from fresh legs for Wales, and probably feel like they can go out and win this game now.
Yeah, they certainly will do. They've shown in times that they can actually play some good stuff even at the end of this season. Long ball forward there from Ward will just about nearly reach its target in the form of Sorba Thomas, who's just come on, of course. Always capable of the spectacular, isn't he? The former Huddersfield Town man. Can he produce it for Wales now to it will be a nice win on the road as Brooks now tries to play it through. He's timed that pass really nicely for a moment. It looked like they were going to race away there with Kumas down the right hand side. However, Tarnavonu gets there just ahead of him. Interesting to see Cameron Congreve coming on as well, the Dundee man. Did get some minutes against Garnet, got 30 minutes in that game. That was his first cap for Wales. 22-year-old midfielder, of course playing in the Scottish Premier League, has been with Wales at under 21s level for some time. He got 2 assists in their game against Belarus under 21s back in March. He's now been given the nod to the first team. There's maybe an injury as well now for Wales. It's captain Ethan Ampadu down on the deck for the time being, sort of lying flat out on his back as well. It might have just been a late one. He went for a challenge with Dragoose. Just looks like a bit of an awkward one in the end, the way that he sort of goes into it.
Yeah, it's one of them that you're going to have the summer off, but you don't want to be carrying an injury, do you? You just want to get this game over and done with and pretty much call it there and be fresh for the new season. But if you're carrying injuries over the summer, mentally puts a bit of a drain on the start of next season. But Ampadu, such an important figure, isn't he? Club captain for Leeds as well. He's been wearing the armband for a little while now. Like you say, he signed 2 more years, which I believe takes him to at least 2030. So, big player for Leeds. He's turned into an obviously captain in his country as well. He's an absolute engine in that midfield, isn't he?
Yeah, captain of club and country at 25 years of age. Is
very impressive.
Really impressive for Ethan Ampadu. Just having a look at the scores in some of the other friendlies. The United States have levelled things up against Germany in that game. Anthony Robinson,
Go team.
man of course born in England, has got one for them as Bogles plays into the box there, just ahead of the oncoming Kumas, and ultimately into the hands of the goalkeeper. It's just gone in as well as that goal from Robinson. So the US looking to continue some pretty decent form. They got that win against Senegal as well, who are being looked at by many as a decent side for this World Cup. Elsewhere, Portugal have gone in front against Chile. Both sides down to 10 men in that game. It's Gonçalo Guedes, the former Wolves man, who's put Portugal ahead in that game. Just looking elsewhere, still goes between Panama and Bosnia. Switzerland 1-0 up against Australia, and in a bit more of a meaningless one, Albania 1-0 down to Luxembourg as Kumas now comes forward up towards the edge of the box. Good play from Lewis Kumas. He gets his shot on target as well. It's a good save there from the goalkeeper down to his right at the near post. And Lewis Kumas very close to 2 goals in 2 for Wales.
He's been looking very dangerous since coming on. He's brought a lot to this team. He really has. Sorba Thomas with a direct run to distract and zip to the front post. The biggest compliment I can give is how quick the keeper gets down. Is it going in? It may just be striking the post outside of the post, but he's not to know that, and you're not supposed to take a risk as a keeper. So brilliant save, corner kick.
Yeah, it's taken short. Brooks will try and swing it in, but ultimately Mateo is out to meet him. So it will be another corner for Wales in succession. 15 minutes left to go until full time. It's Wales who are looking the more likely though to get that second goal for their side. It needs a better ball into the box this time. That's what they're going to go for as well. They're going to abandon the short corner routine this time, Craig Bellamy's team, and it's going to be direct from Sorba Thomas, the substitute. Been quiet since coming on, but Wales' 9th corner now towards the near post. It looks like he slipped on it and didn't actually mean that. It almost worked out nicely and almost found Brooks. It's back out to Thomas. First time ball to the far post. Keeper's in 2 minds about coming. There's the header on target. It's stopped by the goalkeeper. Romania still haven't got this one clear before they eventually do. I think it was Chris Mepham who was in the box there. The substitute who also has just come on. Really unlucky not to score as Brooks now brings it away from his man. Fantastic again from the Wales number 7, Williams. Wants to play it now back, and he will do so and find Joe Roden. But again there, chance at the set piece almost results in a goal. Yeah,
it's West Brom man Chris Mepham. I think he caught the keeper unawares. I think he's a bit of a backtrack. You know, backtracking. It's one that I don't think the keeper was expecting, and he sort of dived on it late, didn't he? It's a very strange. It's a good save in the end, but he was fairly central. But he was in a bad starting position for the goalkeeper. He's had a bit of a hit and miss second half, it must be said, the Romanian number one. He looked a bit more assured, the other keeper. But big chance there for Chris Mepham, who almost another substitute getting on the score sheet.
Yeah, mistake there from Strata as well. He wants to try and control the ball, didn't he, on the back foot, and didn't quite manage it in the end. Mepham now back to the goalkeeper in the form of Ward. So a bit more of a quiet second half. He made a decent save right at the start of it. And the free kick, of course, from Coleman. Of course, got that opening goal for Romania. Been quiet since then though. It's good play from Strata this time. Brings it away from Thomas, but he slips over, and here is the Stoke man now advancing forward in towards the centre. It's just away from Kumas in the end, but Wales might keep hold of it. Williams is buzzing around on the edge of the box. He's not going to be able to bring it under his spell now. Joe Roden there, again, clever play. Just keeps his back towards Coleman, who bundles him over for a Wales free kick.
Intelligent, isn't it? He's not exactly the quickest fullback in the world. I'm not saying Joe Roden's slow, but he knows how to use his body well and get in the right positions, winning a free kick. Just getting another look at it. Chris Mepham, bad starting position for the keeper. I wouldn't say it was exactly central at the next view, and actually, yes, it was. It was right down the middle of the goal, actually, seeing it in that second angle. Just really poor starting position for the keeper. Made it a bit more awkward for himself, but he saved it nonetheless. But a bit of a strange old game, hasn't it? I thought Romania were going to go run away with this, but it just shows if you can lob on a second 11, the game can just completely change.
Yeah, it certainly can. Here come Wales again now. Kumas has spreaded it through for Brooks, and he can't quite get it in front of him. Slips over. He wants a free kick. I don't think he's going to get one though for that decision. It's played forward. That's a mistake from Roden, who heads it off of the feet, and Romania might have a 2-on-2 here if they can play it right. It's towards the striker now in the form of Dragoos. He'll get his shot on target as well. And again, it's a shot towards the near post. And again, Danny Ward this time is the man who gets down nicely to it. Good attacking play from Romania. A mistake from Joe Roden. He heads it off of the feet, and Connor Roberts couldn't sort himself out in time. He was then played through as Dragoos. Ball a little bit behind him. It's not an easy chance by any means, but does well to get a target. Yeah,
the ball to him's not great. It's at him rather than in front of him. He wants it earlier as well. I think he's trying to time it. You can credit the defender for sort of making it slightly awkward, but again, another snapshot to the front post. Danny Ward getting down. That one was going in. It was a good save in the end, down to his left. Like you mentioned moments ago, he hasn't had much to do in the second half, but when he was called upon there, he got it right. Corner kick, Romania near side.
Yeah, he needs to do anything he can, can't he, to at least maybe take the number one spot off of Carl Darlow. That's always going to be tough, and we're finally going to get a yellow card in this game, and it's going to go towards David Brooks because he's too close to the corner taker. Quite interesting. That's the first yellow card of the match. We thought one might be given in the first half. There were a few challenges flying in, but the Norwegian referee was lenient. Corner is taken short. There's the ball to the box, and it's into the back of the net as well. And again, the set piece comes dividends. It's Roos, the centre back, who came on right at the start of the second half. He just brought free of his defender inside the area, and we thought that Wales were going to be the team to take the lead and maybe take the win in this one, but Romania have hit back, and it's Romania 2, Wales 1.
Well, 3 goals, 3 substitutes. It really has changed the game, hasn't it? Fairly simple, short corner, then crossed in. Big centre half heads it into the bottom corner. You don't see that often, do you? It's very refreshing to see. It was a lovely header from the big centre half. But yeah, coming up good again, these substitutes. It's a lovely header. Like I say, it's a strange old game. When Romania looked like they were running away with it, Wales equalised, and when it looked like Wales were going to go out there and maybe get a winner, Romania have come straight out of nowhere and they've got the lead again.
Yeah, they certainly have. It's a great ball into the box as well, isn't it? I think it's Matai, sorry, one of the players who's come on. It is as well. Put it on a plate really, and Danny Ward does get down to his left quite nicely. If there's too much power on the header, it's too low for him to reach. And a fantastic goal. Hadji, the manager, celebrates that one with everyone on his bench. He's actually the captain as well as Roos since coming on. He's taken the armband off of Stanchu, I believe it was. And the Romanian supporters celebrating that one. Again, as Nathan mentioned, a good attendance from them in this game. They've done decently to have this many fans in the stadium for what is an international friendly, of course, being played at the home of FCSB. Not the national stadium in use for this one, which does hold around sort of 60,000 seats. This one holds around 30,000, so considerably less. Plenty of teams as well in Bucharest. It's a fantastic city to go watch football in. The amount of teams that play there, you can always guarantee if you've got a weekend there that one of them will be playing. Here's Ward done out for Wales as the away side look for a response in this one. Roden out towards Roberts. 9 minutes left to go. Can Wales get themselves a draw on their travels? It'll be a draw to match the one they got in Cardiff earlier in the week against Ghana, of course. I'd absolutely love to have been in the USA right now, Wales, or maybe Canada or Mexico, but it's not quite worked out like that for them. Heartbreakingly missing out on the World Cup, so attention will turn towards Euro 2028. Of course, a game will be played in Wales there. The Principality in use as the UK and Ireland prepares to host the tournament. Williams now with a fantastic ball down the left side. He's found Thomas as well, up against Strata. Thomas inside the box now on that right foot. It's a good block though from the substitute. Out towards Roberts, who will have a go, and he's charged down really nicely in the end. This time by Kubis, I believe it was, and a bit of battling going on halfway inside the half as Williams tries to keep hold of it for Wales. He's dispossessed and Romania might have another attack on now. Coleman wants it over on that left side. It's Rodden who heads it away from him though. Williams again can't quite maintain a real attack going forward. In fact, it was Congreve, one of the other substitutes for Wales. Advancing forward now is Popescu. That's a poor pass out of the defence. They're going to get away with it. Now back towards Kubis. Over on that left side again now. It's going to go over the top, and that might be a good one for Dragus to get onto the end of, just overextending himself. He tries to bring it down with his feet. Might have been better just sort of heading it into the floor and carrying on his run that way. However, didn't quite manage it.
No, it's really unfortunate actually. But there's some gaps there. If they played their cards right, they got that ball through, then there could have been one-on-one twice there in a matter of a minute. Yeah, just too much on, a bit awkward, bit of a bounce, like you say, leading with his foot. Could he go with his head? It's a bit of a poor on this stage of the game. You can't really judge them, can you? There'll be heavy minds and heavy legs out there, even for the substitutes. It'll be warm. 10 minutes will feel like 20, won't it? So tough for them, but there's gaps everywhere. Not just against Wales, but against Romania as well. But Romania look a little bit more assured in terms of energy levels at the minute.
Yeah, they certainly do. As Ampadu now finds Thomas over on this left-hand side. He is starting to look more dangerous as the Stoke man, and that's a good ball into the box. Just ahead of Kumas. There's a man arriving in the form of Congreve. He hits it down into the floor though, and ultimately into the hands of the goalkeeper. Better again from Wales. All the attacks seem to be coming down that left-hand side. Great ball in from Thomas. Kumas not a million miles away, and Congreve, I mean, the angle is just slightly against him, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Kumas threw everything at it. He had right to go with his head there. Wasn't a million miles away. He would have been, if he got contact, it'd been 2-2. But Congreve is again hitting it into the floor, trying to go over the keeper from a tight angle. It's clever what he tried to do, but not enough on it in the end. So straight into the keeper's hands. But Sorba Thomas again from that left flank, causing issues.
Certainly is. There's a nice ball through there from Borzo, and they can keep this run going. It's played through for Coleman, who's now up against Mepham. Again, cuts in on his right foot. Danger going. There's the shot from Matai. It's off the post as well. Ward was beaten. Williams should bring this one away for Wales. In fact, he doesn't. He actually gets dispossessed for a moment. Bounces right into the hands though of Ward, and Romania agonisingly close to putting this one to bed.
I'd be surprised if we don't see another goal in this game. I won't just say it for Romania, but either it's such an open game now between these two sides. Very tired out there. Stump of the post on this near side. That's really unfortunate in the end. I mean, if it did end 2-2, I think Romania would probably have a look at themselves and think we should have had this game buried. Yeah,
they really will. It feels like they have had the bigger of the chances throughout the game. I think Coleman's been really good since coming on. Whenever he has got the ball, again, he could have had a goal and assist in this game. It's unfortunate there that it just cannoned off the post. Borza now plays it into Coleman. He's trying to now slop it through for Dragus, who's got Mepham for cover, but he's giving it straight back towards Borza. Now Dragus inside the box. Can it be 3-1? This time there's the shot again towards the near post. It's high up in the air this time, and Ward makes the save. He palms it behind for a corner, and Romania banging on the door.
Pushing some more. They're still going, and Dragus will probably be looking at himself thinking, have I not scored in this game? He was drilled pretty much at Danny Ward, who stood up well and then just punched it over the bar in the end. Didn't really test him all that much. Going to replay of the foot of the post, the wrap into the bottom right hand corner, always curling away. It's still a very good effort, isn't it, on the bounce, and yeah, very unfortunate. But that second one didn't really test Danny Ward probably as well as it should have.
No, I think he could have probably done a little bit better. He takes himself a bit wide, doesn't he? And ultimately it's straight at Danny Ward. He doesn't even have to move an inch to his left or right to make the save on that one. They're all still applauding it on the Romanian bench. It's been a good spell again in this game for them as they look to put this result beyond any doubt. They've got a corner again, taken shot, then whipped straight into the box. Header on target, might be a chance on the follow-up. Sheehan smashes it high up into the air. Wales should be able to get this one clear. It's Dragomir actually with the strike deflected, and it's behind for yet another corner. Well, it's relentless at the moment, isn't it, from the Romanians? How on earth they've not got themselves a third in this game is beyond me. It's Roos again, almost on a brace. Is the centre-back and he's really unlucky not to find his way past Danny Ward.
I'll reiterate what I said for anywhere but. It was right at him, anywhere but there, and it's 3-1. Battling away in between two players, big and strong. Oh, he should have had a brace. Nah, I think Romania should have 3, shouldn't they? They'll be looking at themselves if they don't win this game.
Again, they've gone for that same routine. It's in towards the box. Dragus tries to hit it, and Kumas will now bring it away for Wales. Maybe a chance against the run of play. That's going to be a free kick, though, isn't it, for Wales? And the first yellow card for a Romanian player, perhaps a bit overdue. We thought one was going to come a lot earlier on in the first half, but Roos, the man who seems to be at the heart of everything at the moment in this game, picking up the yellow card this time, and yeah, it's quite an obvious one. He just completely drags down Connor Roberts as he's trying to get forward on the counter attack. But again, Wales just about hanging on.
Just about hanging on. That was an absolute rugby tackle from Roos, wasn't it? I don't think he had any sort of argument with that. Necker Williams has come off as well, the number 3. Looks very, very tired. Long season, hard season as well. Capaccio has come on, the number 17 in his place.
Certainly has. Maybe one last substitution from Craig Bellamy. One last look at another player. Of course, Ronan Capaccio plays for Cardiff City, of course, in Wales. Gets the chance now to come on for the final stages of this game and maybe do a bit of defending as Dragomir is coming forward again, trying to play it through the defensive line. Can see what the idea is there. Coleman is making the run, but passes too overhit in the end and out for a goal kick. So we've got 2 minutes left or so of normal time left in this one. It's Romania who look the most likely to go and get that next goal and put this result beyond any doubt, but we can't discount Wales. Just seen another replay of that chance a moment ago where Dragomir had the follow-up shot. It cannoned off of Ipranampadu in the end. It's not a million miles away from going straight past Danny Ward. In the end, it's out behind for that corner, which ultimately led to nothing. If anything, it was just a Roos yellow card after he pulled his man back on the counter-attack. You're watching this quite intently on the Romanian bench. Of course, there's nothing beyond in this one really for the result. It's more just the significance maybe of getting another win over Wales. Of course, they do have a good record over Wales. It's not quite recent. Last time these two sides played was back in November 1993, so it's been long overdue meetings between these two. This could be a chance for Wales as Kumas is played in. Lovely turn, he sits the defender and the goalkeeper down. He just can't quite find the final touch. It's Roos again in the way of it. Got to be a shout for man of the match, the way that he's played in this second half. He recovers brilliantly to make the block. That looked certain that Kumas was going to score. There's another chance now as they've taken it short at the far post. It'll be hit on target, and again the goalkeeper makes the save high up into the air. Goalkeeper down on the deck though. It's already been stopped, I think, for a head injury, and somehow Wales at level.
I don't know how. Kumas, when he pulls it back, his weight's going one way, but he needs to set himself a bit quicker. He just took too long over that ball. We'll have another look at it eventually. It was a smart corner actually, a short one into the box. We'll have another. Did he just pancake him in the face? Yeah, he did. He just absolutely knocked him out. Keeper's down. Now, just seen Kumas. Cruyff turn backwards. Yeah, his weight's gone one way. I think he just needs to hit it first time. He's just being too clever with it. He's just trying to make sure he does a Cruyff, and then he sits the defender and the keeper down, and then just hit it there. Yeah. But he takes an extra touch, and that allows Russ to take nothing away from him. Brilliant block nonetheless. Yeah,
I mean, they all celebrate it like it's a goal in the World Cup, don't they? The Romanian defenders. It's quite intense from them. And the goalkeeper, Tanavaru, who's on a fantastic second half, really has produced some good saves for Romania. That's producing his most important of the lot there to stop Wales from getting themselves level once again in this game. Heading into the final moments now. It's going to be the 90th minute. We're just waiting to see how much additional time is going to be given. There's not been many stoppages. This might be the first injury of the game. However, we are going to get 6 additional minutes at the end of this second half. There's of course been a few goals, but in the friendly that seems a little bit excessive.
Seems very excessive for me. Are they adding it on because of the injury that's just happened? I'm not quite sure. I just think, I mean, if it was level, they'd probably do less, but I think it's because there's something to play in this game. But yeah, I mean, we have seen, nearly 20 substitutions, so that's probably going to do it, isn't it? It does seem a little excessive for a friendly, though, doesn't it? I just think 3 minutes would probably do it, but 6 added on, and I won't be surprised if we see another goal.
Yeah, I did actually forget that both teams have pretty much changed their entire starting 11 from what we saw initially in this game. We've already played 40 seconds of those 6 minutes. The game back underway, and Tanavaru is able to continue as normal. Is that a foul there from Connor Roberts? Referee says no, so it will continue for now. Possession back with Wales, and in particular Chris Mepham. Nice ball through the lines to find Brooks, who's got the man all over the back of him in the form of Dragomir. He's the only player in a Romanian shirt to have completed the 90 minutes. That's a mistake there as well. And Romania could be through. Dragomir plays it through to Dragus, who will try and hit it on the edge of the area, just as his pocket picked by Connor Roberts. Not sure if it's a lack of communication there with his own players, but he just had the ball stolen from him, and Brooks is now coming forward. That's not the bit of quality that he wants. He wants to play it through for Kumas, but once again Roos stands in the way of it. What a second half performance, by the way, from the Romania standing captain Roos. He's been absolutely at the heart of everything they've tried to do. Definitely my shout for man of the match, the way that he's scored in this game. Could have had a brace, few big interceptions defensively as well. Played forward, going to be brought down by Roberts, who's now moved out towards this left side. He's no stranger to playing at left back after Capaccio will now move over towards the right. That's a lovely touch to take him inside of his man as well, and he continues going down the centre, back towards Ethan Ampadu now, and moved out towards the left for Roberts. Now for Thomas. Chance now for Wales as Thomas wants to drive at his fullback. Few step overs from him, and he chips it towards the far post. It's going to be a corner actually. I think it's taken a nick off of someone on the way through. So Wales are going to get a set piece chance. That's where you want Thomas though in those sort of positions.
It is. I'll apologise to him because I thought he's gone for a cross come short, but I did take a nick off a man. I don't know if he was going for goal, but yeah, coming from that left side onto his right, that's where he's best and causing issues, and he has done since coming on. So's Kumas, to be fair. I know he's not really been involved on the ball, but off it. Here comes that man Sorba Thomas to take the corner on the far side, outswinger this time. 3 minutes nearly of the 6 added on done. Big chance for Wales to get an equaliser.
Yeah, it certainly is. Thomas now with this outswinger. Can it find a head of a Welsh man? It's going to be bobbled up in the air and ultimately smashed clear by Romania. Roberts was looking for it. Capaccio's got a bit of defending to do here. There's men all over the back of him in the form of Mateo and Dragus as well, but he's done fairly well. But Romania have still won the ball back. They've been forced back in towards their own half though. Played across now towards Roos and ultimately back to the goalkeeper. Hindic. Sorry, it's Tavano now. Sending it long up into the air. Easy for them to bring down in the end, Wales, and Roberts is shown the other way. That will be a foul though. He's completely taken out there by one of the other changes in the form of Serjan. He's definitely gone through it as well, Roberts. He only came on in the second half as well. The former Burnley and Leeds United loanee, of course. He's been put through it. Another mention of Leeds, of course, in this Wales team. There's
I feel like you have
loads
to.
of them.
I think you have to play for Leeds to get into the Welsh national side. I think it's a due diligence, isn't it?
Here's Brooks though now carrying it forward. He's got the man over on that right hand side. Chance again now for Wales as they get towards the edge of the box. Left footed shot is going to be deflected. Ultimately carried wide in the end. They're going to get another set piece chance. It's Congreve, again the Dundee FC player who's won it. Nice little run forward and ultimately winning the set piece.
Yeah, I think he'll actually thank himself for the block because it didn't look like he really wrapped that ball as well as he wanted to. It was more towards the back of the instep. Didn't really get the trajectory, and it took a nick. It looked like the keeper was probably going to get hold of it. Another corner. The last one was interesting. Wasn't the best bowling from Thomas, and now David Brooks is going to take the in-swinger, which is interesting. 22 corners in this game, can you believe?
Yep, and 12 of those have been for Wales. There's been a lot of set pieces, not even just corners as well, as Brooks swings it towards the far post. Roden gets up for the header. It's not quite a free header. It's sort of going over him in the end. He has to try and get as much power on it as possible. Ultimately, he's headed it wide. That's frustrating for Craig Bellamy.
It is, and you can see the frustration in him. Another interesting ball in David Brooks. He's put that high into the sky and almost too high, isn't it? You know, you're trying to loft it to the back post, but it's almost too much on it, and like you say, it's over Roden's head. So it's an interesting one. It just comes off the top of his head and pings off for a goal kick. It's another waste. With a minute to go, you'd probably call that game.
Yeah, it certainly would have done. Not to be though in the end, as the kick is taken long. It's met nicely by Mepham. We're into the final minute of the 6 that were added on. Is there still time for Wales to try and get themselves an equaliser? Brilliant turn from Kumas, who comes away from Roos. He's fouled there as well, is he? No, he's not actually. I thought the referee was playing advantage, but apparently not. Roos just too strong in the end for Kumas. And the Romanians win it back again. They go along with it. Nice touchdown from Ampadu to find Roberts though. They'll now play it down the left wing. It's going to be deflected out for a throw, which Thomas wants to take quickly and understandably so. So many options moving for him, but it's now in towards the centre for Ampadu. Brings it down nicely. Finds the pass over on that right side again now for Congreve. Capaccio over on the overlap. Congreve's going to go himself though. A few step overs in towards the box. Cuts onto his left foot. Ball into the area. It's headed away by Popescu. Roden coming forward. Maybe takes a bit of a tough challenge there, but play's going to continue regardless as Kabakio brings it down. The Romanian man, Matthias, stayed down. Wales want a free kick, they're not going to get it. That might have been the last chance as well. Romania are now the team coming forward. Coleman looks to slip it round. Mepamu's sliding in there. All eyes on the Norwegian referees. We go 30 seconds over the additional 6 minutes that were added. There's a few congratulatory sort of handshakes on the bench from the Romanian manager. They think the job has been well done and that the performance has been put in, but still we play in Bucharest. Imagine this throw-in will be the last action. Now Borza is going to launch it down the left side, and that will be it in the end. Wales can't quite get themselves a win in this international period. A 1-1 draw with Ghana is followed up in the end by defeat on the road. It's finished in Bucharest. Romania 2, Wales 1.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy.
1.9. In the women's 200 metres,
result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck.